McGovern as well, hamstring. The confidence must be up with Carlton. They're out on the ground now, beating Collingwood by 17 points. That's big for them. It's a bit of pace with Fisher back in. The subs, Liam Stoker for St Kilda and Ed Curnow from Carlton. The Blues 6 straight going for 7. Must win for both teams, but I reckon the Blues get it done because of the confidence. I know they're sitting outside the 8, but they could go inside now.
Liam Stoker will be stoking them up down there, Robbo.
Did I say Stoker? Stocker?
Yeah, that's okay.
That's all right.
We know what you meant. We make mistakes too up here, don't we, Stevie?
Every now and then.
Okay, let's get stuck into this before we get Ash. Ash is going to come in a minute, Triple M Red Z Lending. How do you think this game pans out, boys in the back?
I've been keeping a close eye on Tom De Koning down here. He's getting a lot of work from a physio and did when he first came out as well. Looks like something around the left leg. You know he's got that knee taped. How do I see this one playing out? If the Saints are to win, I think it requires a bit of Ross Lyon magic. And I think the only way they can do that is to bore Carlton out of the game. If they make it a shootout, I think the Blues' confidence and the firepower up forward would be too much for the Saints. So unless we get some Ross magic, Stevie, I can see the Blues winning.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's got to really get back and support his defence and make sure there's some protection if Wilkie is to go to Curnow, because he will have the advantage with height and reach, and he's in terrific form. So they need to get back and protect that back 50 where Carlton have been so damaging over the last month of football. And from there, St Kilda's just got to try and get their ball movement going. They are a team that's pretty efficient going from their D50 into the forward 50, actually number 1 in the competition in that stat. So they'll have to try and take the game on and try and score. But first things first, stop Carlton from getting that momentum going, and don't let Charlie Curnow have a day out, because he could be the difference in the two teams.
We heard Roscoe earlier about them being bold early with their ball movement, which is a pleasing thing for Saints fans. So they're obviously going to try and go through the corridor, turn that defence around, getting quick. But the emphasis he put on dirty ball and making sure they exited boundary from any sort of stoppage. So expect a lot of the St Kilda numbers corridor side pressing out to the boundary.
So if the Saints are to beat the Blues, if you had to put down two things the Saints need to do really well today to curtail Carlton and win, what are they?
I'd say territory battle from stoppage. Yep. And their ability to defend one-on-ones inside D50.
And Stevie, on the other hand, so Carlton, you're looking at the Saints, and the Blues have been riding this nice wave at the moment. A couple of things they need to do to beat the Saints today.
Well, it's probably the opposite to what Joey said. I mean, I think that clearance battle's going to be extremely important today. The midfield with Cripps back in some good form, Hewitt through there, and I think, if they can get enough entries, I think even amount of inside 50s today, Carlton win the game of footy, just purely on their efficiency in their front half and their ability to apply pressure and force the opposition into making mistakes and then going back and scoring off turnover. So this is a big test. This is the biggest test for these two teams, given where they sit on the ladder right at the moment. If they both want the finals aspirations, as we expect, this is a huge game of footy for them. We're going to know a lot more about them after today's game.
Daisy, if I looked at a player that I wanted to do well because I like the way he goes about it, and he had a pretty poor run with injuries, and then there's been some form issues, it's Jack Martin. Jack Martin has been brilliant in this little period where Carlton have been great, but he has tendencies to then go missing for 2, 3, 4 weeks without being able to touch the football. He'll come in, he'll tease you again, but it's just a nice patch of form he's had at the moment, but I want him to back it up.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I love the way he goes about it. He's someone down there, and I know Curnow's the big man, but he's got that real X factor. He can play tall, he makes good decisions with the ball, he hits the scoreboard, he's dangerous at ground level. He's someone you'd love to see up and about. I'm also interested in seeing Zach Fisher today. I reckon he's going to go to half back. Ross was sort of hypothesising about who's going to go down there, and I'm looking at the Blues warm up in their backline group. Zach Fisher has gone over there, so he's someone who's played as a half forward, tried to get into the midfield, didn't have a spot, and now may get an opportunity off half back. Good speed, good ball use, and will take the game on.
The biggest turnaround for Carlton in their last 6 weeks has been their forward pressure, hasn't it, Shoeman? And they've completely flipped who they've had there. Like early in the year, it was Zach Fisher. They were playing Durden. They didn't have Fogarty in the side. They didn't have Jack Martin playing as much footy as he only played a few games early in the season, and Owies and Motlop back in the side. So their forward pressure has been a big turnaround since early in the season, Stu.
Yeah, no doubt. Past 4 rounds, number 1 for tackles in the front half, Joey, averaging 39 per game. The AFL average is 26.
May as well keep going with that, Ash. Triple M Red Z Lending Stats, loans for the self-employed, REDZED.com. Welcome to the program.
Thanks, Brownie. Great to be here. Positives for the Saints. Good record against the Blues. Have won 8 out of the past 10. Defensively, St Kilda second in defence, only conceding 73 points per game. They're number 1 defensively for scores on entry and also concede the least number of goals from marks. But for the Blues, past 6 matches, whereby they've won 6 in a row, they're number 1 for contested ball at plus 17, second for ground ball. Last week against Collingwood, won the ground ball by 41. And Charlie Curnow, past 3 matches, number 1 rated player in the AFL, averaging 17 disposals. He's kicked 19 goals, 6, and he's number 1 in the comp for goals from free kicks with 16 majors for the year.
About a month ago, maybe even 6 weeks, Ross would have been pretty worried about Jack Steele. He's number 1 ball winner in the midfield, and he made the comment today when we interviewed him, Stevie, about that he's got his body right now, and that must be a big relief for Ross and the Saints.
Yeah, well, he's their contested bull in there. He's been probably their best player for the last 4 seasons. He's the captain for a reason. And he has been well beyond his best in the first half of this season. You could tell that he had, I think it was a back injury and a few other niggles.
Broke a collarbone as well.
He broke the collarbone, that's right. And he probably come back a little bit too early from that collarbone. He looked really sore. And then maybe it knocked his confidence a little bit. But him back up and going, and we talk about the importance of the clearance work today. He is the player in there that can go toe-to-toe with Paddy Cripps. I reckon the last time these two teams played, Cripps might have got a hold of him, but that'll be a matchup that we look forward to watching over the next couple of hours.
Mason Wood had a brilliant start to the season, dropped off somewhat.
Yeah, that's another fair summation. His ability to get forward and back at the start of the season, playing that traditional wing role, having a real impact, and was playing tougher than we've ever seen him. He was hard at the footy, hard at the contest, and his ball use, which we know has probably been his strength throughout his career, was certainly at the forefront there. So he's someone today who's going to match up on probably an Ollie Hollands, who has had a fantastic start to his career as well. I love the way he goes about it. He just has a real crack and uses the ball pretty well as also. So there's matchups all over the ground, Brownie, that we're going to keep an eye on, and it shapes to be a good contest the more you go through it.
Every time I see the Saints, I just think Rowan Marshall's their most important player up against Pitnet and De Koning today.
That's right, big test for him, one out there in the ruck. So, look, those 2 young players are emerging for Carlton as pretty good ruckman, pretty good duo. And, yeah, again, we've spoken about how important it is around the middle of the ground. The hit-outs to advantage are going to be incredibly important today.
Robbo for Bob Jane Team Arts.
Yeah, Martin, Hill, Motlop, all in there. The Indigenous boys for the toss with Steele and Cripper. And Carlton won the toss, so they're going lefty, a radio dial. Stocker, the sub for the Saints, and Ed Curnow for the Blue Baggers.
For Shell, this is a Triple M Sunday rub. Win a Super VIP experience at the 2023 Toyota AFL Grand Final in the Shell V Power Box Super Box. Spend $20 or more. Eligible products at Shell. Keep your receipt and enter at shell.com.au/superbox. Details and T's and C's on the website. AFL authorised Grand Final promotion code GF AFL 23/55. Not far away, about 10 seconds. The light show is going on. The Blues and the Saints as Wilkie goes to Curnow. Curnow down in the goal square at one end, King down at the other end in the goal square. This is going to be an absolute ripper for McDonald's Remont Water. Triple M rocks footy. Here's Lee Montagna.
A big crowd, plenty on the line. Carlton can be as high as 5th by the end of tonight. Well, they could stay outside the top 8 if they can't get over the line. The Saints looking to stay in the top 6, and we've had a lot of ordinary bounces already this weekend. There's another one to start the game.
The umpire asked Rowan Marshall why he kicked it away.
Well, Rowan said, why'd you do a bad bounce? So we'll get a restart. Zach Fisher has started at half-back, as Daisy and Ross Lyon alluded to, and he's gone straight to Brad Hill. Here we go. Doherty starting in the centre bounce. Ollie Hollands found his place again on the wing. Cripps in and under. And it's Steele who gets the first handball out, but wrapped up in a strong tackle by Georgie Hewitt and Nick Newman. It was Ryan Burns getting to his feet, one of the youngsters that Ross Lyon had told us played all 20 games this year, having a really good season. Cripps. This is where the Saints have got to apply some pressure. Handball chain out of the stoppage. Here's Fisher streaming across half-back through the corridor. Kick went short to Owies, bounced at his feet, and then his handball It's going to cause the ball up inside 50 now for the Blues. They're kicking to the left of the broadcast.
Both teams had a +1 on that situation. Fisher was the Blues just off the back, whereas the Saints took it deep inside D50.
Should be taking fumble stats for Triple M Red Z Lending, Ash. Get on champion data on that as the ball just gets out towards the centre wing and the umpire ball it up again.
It's a good call, Brandy. I like that.
Well, always had the ball on the 50-metre line. Slight fumble. Should have been having a shot at goal. Blues miss an opportunity.
Negative points, two-man.
Yep, Roosie, big fan of that stat.
Ball up. Owens. Handball's out to Crouch, who's been good. Crouch, long ball inside forward 50. Sard fisted it away. Opportunity for Higgins, but he can't get there in time. But he did a really good job to put pressure on Kemp. Kemp to Wiedering. Wiedering around the corner. And that's a nice kick, and he finds Newman. Newman gave the handball up too quick. Teammate wasn't expecting it. Now the Saints with an opportunity. Ball popped free. Back inside forward 50. Bouncing ball again. And Marchbank had a fresh area in the hand of it. Couldn't quite take it. Higgins was there. Opportunity for steal. And a poor kick into the pocket. And the mark taken by Blake Akers.
Getting back deep in defence, the Blues. Akers goes short to Fisher, who sweeps a handball wider to Wiedering. Still in his defensive 50. Goes long down the wing. One-on-one. Webster and Martin. Webster couldn't take the mark. Cottrell keeps it in on the boundary line, and it'll work because Owens is away, takes a bounce, gets past Hill, goes inside 50, completely overshot the kick, although Wilkie couldn't take the mark. Charlie Curnow nearly got back onto it, and now Brad Hill has players queuing up for the outlet kick. Sinclair ruffled it, left it for Battle, who handballs to Wanganeen Miller. Sinclair, here goes the ball movement you spoke about, Stevie J, from defensive 50, although Sinclair's kick also was over the head of Filippo. And we go out of bounds, right below us, centre wing, Marvel Stadium. Both sides a little bit nervy.
Yeah, well, De Koning was absolutely out there. All Owies needed to do was to pop it 40 metres over the top. Anywhere in front of him, he would have ran onto an open goal, but he just messed the kick up.
Boundary throwing on centre wing, and Akers' handball was pretty good out to Hewitt, but he couldn't take it. Wood, left footer back inside forward 50, but only Blues are back there. Kemp chips the footy. Doherty picks it up, and he's got a player forward of the play, and that's Hewitt. Hewitt dives at half-back, gives the wraparound handball to Doherty, chips another one to Cunningham. Cunningham gives the handball off to Fisher, did the fend off, got around two of them, left foot to half-forward, Curnow on a long lead, 60 out. He turns and he goes now, and he pumps it inside forward 50, looking for the tall targets. Out the back, Wanganeen Miller at ground level. The Saints have got the numbers. They just need to be clean, and they're not being that clean at the moment. And a chance for Martin. Martin couldn't take it through. They need to get this ball through the Saints eventually. They get it to Wilkie, who clears the area, looking for Mason Wood, who puts his hands up and takes a nice mark.
In front of Blake Akers, the former Saint, on the defensive 50. Broadcast side on the wing. Goes towards Max King in a 2v1. Wiedering, been the best defender in the comp the last 6 weeks. Took the mark and goes straight into the corridor. Aggressive kick came off. Cottrell handballs to Newman. Has to straighten up on his left foot. His kick trying to find the pass. Another one over the head of Owies. And again, St Kilda will mop up from their defensive 50. Battle. Just kicked it blindly and wide only as far as Marchbank. Good to see him back. He spears another low ball again to Owies, who's been lively early. And this time he takes the mark, sliding on his knees. 45 metres out, 45-degree angle.
I think the St Kilda coaches' box will be absolutely filthy with their forwards and how they're resetting the field just when the ball is still live. It's 3 or 4 intercept marks already. They need to be better. They need to make sure they're referencing their Carlton defenders rather than just getting caught ball watching, making themselves out of position.
Pretty reliable set shot for goal this year, two-man, Matt Owies.
Here's 12 goals, 3.
And he crosses the 50. Gets to 47. And he's pushed that one to the near side. So the first score of the afternoon's taken 5 minutes. That goes away to the Blues. The Triple M Shell scoreboard. Shell V-Power, the official partner of the AFL and of the Sunday Rub.
Impressive.
Sinclair, an aggressive kick in, as you heard Stevie say, and it's going to come undone almost. Owies laid the tackle, and it was a good tackle too. That was on Cordy. Big Zane will go back and put his position just behind the football as the umpire elevates it quickly to Koning, takes it out of the ruck. It was slapped away from him. Paddy Cripps with the snap. It's high and it's wide, and it's out of bounds on the full.
Josh Battle.
Free kick will go to Josh Battle. You hear the umpire.
Back 2 metres, please. Back
Big
2
crowd
metres.
in
Outside
today,
5.
two-man.
Look at this, about 38,000, maybe
Wow.
nudging close to 40.
You kick.
So Battle hoiks along one out of the defensive 50.
Holding, St Kilda, Mitch Owens.
Free kick go to Mitch Owens, you heard the umpire.
Stand.
So he's at half-back. Cripps gives it back to him, and now he looks settled.
Yours.
A low darting ball, looking for the lead of King. That's a good mark on his chest. Wants to move it quickly. Does now. Players ahead of the football. Kemp gets back and Akers again, and that's the fourth time. And Daisy, you mentioned the fact they're not resetting properly at the moment, and Carlton will run it out again.
Well, that was a wingman who didn't get back with his direct opponent in Mason Wood.
Now side kick goes to a one-on-one. Charlie Curnow again, this time in front of Battle. A long way from home though, half-back, dribbles a ball to Owies. Handball back to Hewitt. And now to Cripps, off one step. It's a bit of a wobbling ball along the boundary line. Will DeConing keep it in? He did well to fend off Wilkie. Then dribbles a ball inside 50, but again St Kilda will mop up. Steele got it to Owens. Handball to Sinclair, now back to Jack Steele.
Yours.
And again the kick's going to go towards Sharman in a one-on-one with Sard. Sard did well to get the fist in. Caminiti doing the crumbing. Wood sweeps a handball forward, but only as far as Zach Fisher, who started this game well, playing as a half-back. Gets the 1-2. Pops it over to Paddy Dow, who's going to get a good look at it without our man Chera. He said Nathan Brown was his idol as a kid. And now the kick from Marchbank towards the wing. Good mark taken by Jimmy Webster.
Play on, not 15. Play
Jimmy,
on.
short ball finds Wanganeen Miller up. He wants to give it back to Webster, but can't. Almost run himself in a bit of trouble, but now gets out of trouble.
Yours.
Cool head. Nice work towards half forward. Mason Wood got the crumb, but smothered off his hands by Fisher, who started well. The ball's out of bounds.
Like that role for Zach Fisher. As we said, he's been a small forward without having real impact. He's got good skills. He makes good decisions. A lot easier at half-back. We just have to take the ball and continue to go forward.
7.5 minutes in, Ash. How's Fisher going?
Yeah, 5 disposals, equal leading ball winner.
That's a good start. Owens had his hands free, was able to get it out, but only as far as Hewitt, whose handball was good. Cunningham, I like the way he moves. That's a good kick to Curnow. He's 60 out. Open goal square for Curnow, and smothered off the boot by Wilkie. Fisher, possession number 6, been in everything so far. Cunningham, handball to the outside. They load up with Hollands, and the kick is poor. Straight back to the Saints.
Stand.
I think Charlie Curnow should have just taken his time there. He's probably in range, but a low percentage shot on goal. It was smothered, but he did have some players streaming forward. He just needed to just take that extra couple of seconds time and wait for the play to unfold and maybe hit up an uncontested mark inside 50.
Yeah, St Kilda go slow play. They want to get speed on the ball. Windhager to Sinclair to Sharman. Just forward of the wing. Marchbank drops off him, so he runs and draws. Burns now, high ball. Rowan Marshall's drifting forward. And Big Rowan takes a strong mark. Pitnet couldn't keep up. And he takes it about 30 metres out straight in front.
Mark, just over here, please. Time back on, please. Can you walk out? Thank you.
Is Razor Ray taking the piss there by saying please every 2 seconds? Anyway,
Thank you, Rowan.
mic'd up exclusively. That's what Marshall has to do. If he's going to exploit Pitnet, one area he can do it is with the fitness levels and going forward. Pitnet 10 yards behind him the entire way that ball was in transition.
Yeah, it was pretty poor by Pitnet. Marshall pushed hard forward. He's done this in recent weeks. He's a bit iffy in front of goal, Big Rowan. But he sneaks that one home. And he goes straight after Blake Akers. Oh, they're just mates. They're only just taking the mickey. First of the afternoon, St Kilda. They're 1 straight 6. The Blues 1 behind. Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Well, you can see why St Kilda don't want to allow Carlton to come back through the corridor. A couple of times they had the very first passage of play, and then that one that resulted in Cunningham lacing out Charlie Curnow, how dangerous they are. But Stevie, you were onto it. Their ball movement has become a lot better the longer this season's gone.
Yeah, that's right. And it's important that they do keep resetting, because what you've seen from St Kilda early on in this game, they're trying to get back and support their back line and then hopefully win the footy back and be able to, use the footy a little bit more aggressively. Carlton has set up and taken more intercept marks. It's about 6 intercept marks to 2 at the moment. But if they can get a good contest like that, engage their opponents ahead of the ball, they'll give themselves a chance of scoring.
Rowan Marshall on the Harvey Norman replay. Epic audio sale on now. Sony wireless earbuds, just $98, save 50. Samsung Ultra Slim soundbar now $595. You save $400. Outstanding. Harvey Norman epic audio sale. Hurry. And we're out of the middle again. The Saints go towards half forward. A bouncing ball. Picked up by Sharman. Good handball out. Butler, 30 out, closing. Gets the second one for the Saints. 2 straight 12. St Kilda. 1 behind Carlton. 11-point lead. Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Can't wait to watch this on the Harvey Norman replay. Did it really well, Butler. He waited to see if Saad was going to go in the air and then just split to the front and centre. Realised that Saad had committed himself with the ball going over his head. All it was a little step inside. A really nice contest from his big man there. And into an open goal he went. Nice finish. We see it here. Centre clearance win for the Saints. Saad just lost all contact. He went to the ball. Butler went to the corridor. Finished accordingly. Good start for the Saints.
The Razor Ray will just throw it up. He won't even try and bounce it. Back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M rocks footy. Paddy Dow wins this clearance for the Blues. High ball to about 20 out. Saints all get back. Battle. Try to get the fist to it. Zane Cordy try to get a boot to it. Now it's a live ball. Ground level. Hollands. Windhager. Cottrell. Got it to Doherty. We'll go for the dribble. Kick along the line. Will it get there? Saving dive by Callum Wilkie. Touch right on the goal line. Carlton 2 behind, St Kilda 2 straight. Of course, the Macca's cheesy range is on now. Have a post-game stretch.
Outside 5.
Jack Sinclair gives it to Wilkie with a short left foot ball, working their way through to centre half back and Windhager, a man that Ross identified as a potential tagger for them, to Mason Wood, who leads up. He's still at half back, Mason Wood. Chipping the ball, Jack Martin did well, sensed the danger, fisted away with the boundary throw-in. Give us some numbers, Ash, early. Triple M Red Z Lending.
Carlton's pressure's been strong. They were at 195 a couple of minutes ago. It's dropped down to 180. Saints at 175. They're winning the territory battle as well. The Blues 9-6 the entries.
So this boundary throw-in on centre wing. Marshall, Pitnet. Pitnet won that one clearly. Tried to get it to Paddy Cripps. Eventually did. Dow on the end of it. Received the handball from Doherty. Goes back to Cunningham. Cunningham settles on a ball from centre wing to half forward. Couldn't mark it. Here's Martin at ground level. Handball was brilliant. Handball was elite. Paddy Cripps was pushed in the back as he tried to kick it. He'll go and get it again. And then he fumbled. We need to take fumbles, Ash. Paddy Cripps goes to ground level. Still an opportunity for the Blues. But now they're wrapped up. The moment's gone. Ball up 40 metres out from the Blues goal.
Well, if you were marking fumbles, man, you could be doing it with a fork at the minute. They are coming in 3s and 4s. Horrible ball handling from both sides. A certain goal goes begging for the Blues.
They dodged a bullet there, the Saints. Caminiti having a stint in the ruck and able to grab it out himself and get good purchase on the ball towards the centre circle. Kemp couldn't take the mark. Handball over the top. Higgins loves to get downhill. Carlton get back. Sharman's look sharp. Butler's running towards the goal square, but Newman's going to beat him to the ball. He's going to wait for it to bounce. And he has time right up against the point post to give to Fisher, who's looked good, and Akers in an acre of space. Mason Wood dropped off, and the kick's going to go in his opponent's direction, straight to Mason Wood. He couldn't take the mark, and the ball goes out of bounds right in front of Robbo and interchange gates. As both teams start to swing some changes, Sinclair comes for a spell. Good start to this game.
Around the grounds.
Choice Hotels, it's the Demons by 25 points over North halfway in the final quarter. Harrison Petty subbed off the ground with an injury.
The P-Train.
How many kicks before that, Ash?
Harrison Petty for Triple M Red Z. I think just the one major.
Paddy down towards centre half forward. Hollands was the receiver. They'll go inside forward 50. The kick looking for Owies. Been in everything so far. Fisted away. Cottrell. Standing start for the Blues first. Hits the post.
Clear out, boys.
3 behinds to the Blues. 2 straight 12 to St Kilda halfway through this first quarter. Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Correction, 2 majors to Harrison Petty.
Good game of footy early. Both teams transferring the ball at will at times. Thought it was going to be a slow, dour affair from the Saints, but they're taking it up to the Blues with their ball movement.
Yeah, they look to play fast, the Saints.
He's off.
The kick's a good one to Filippo. And again, he wants to get it moving. Goes on his opposite, the right boot, because he sees a one-on-one. And he goes to King. Too good for Wiedering on that occasion. He has a 2v2 inside 50. Butler's there. So's Caminiti. Handballs to Filippo, who waits for the lead. And they could have raffled it. Butler and Higgins, good ball movement. And it's Higgins who's taken the mark, and he'll have a shot 40 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Yeah, really smart kick there. As the Blues had got back in numbers, there was St Kilda players offering up just inside 50. They all had their hands in the air and a bit of composure with the footy in hand. Lowered the eyes, and he just drops in the hole there. This has been his issue over the past.
Higgins from 48 metres leans back on it. It'll go across the face. First blemish for St Kilda. They're 2-1-13. Carlton still 3 behinds. 8 minutes 42 to play in the first quarter. Triple M Shell scoreboard. Shell V Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL.
Adam Sard, short ball, and he'll get this one back. He's looking for Hewitt. Long left foot ball. Hewitt can't mark it, but he'll pick up the crumbs. Snap the ball towards centre wing. Jack Martin has to sit underneath it and hope for the best. He did okay. Caminiti got it out of bounds and let the ball in.
Triple M Reds had last 6 rounds. Carlton number 1 for goal scoring efficiency at 30%. Today 11 entries, but yet to register a goal.
Anthony.
So boundary throw in. De Koning to do the ruck work against Caminiti. That's a short throw in. They have to come a long way in. De Koning used his strength. Handball towards Paddy Cripps. Cripps tried to walk through Wood. Wood couldn't handle the tackle. Left foot looking for Martin. Martin flies. That's a really good mark. For a small man in Martin, he elevated himself against 2 and a strong grab.
Has the distance too. If he goes back and backs himself in, goes through a routine, just doesn't need to hook out late. Trust that he's got the leg under the lid here with the good conditions. Must be good for his confidence, a hot start.
Very good above his head, Jack Martin. Scored 7 goals, 4 from set shots this season. Have to kick it every bit of 52 metres and clear the pack on the goal square. It's a nice kick. It's a beautiful kick. Is it going to get there? Is it going to go all the way? The umpires are going to have a chat. Rowan Marshall thinks he might have touched it. Razor Ray comes in, gets the ball first. He tells everyone to clear the area. It's a bit of me time.
Score review. Umpires call this touched one behind. Please confirm.
I can't understand how they can't make that call when they're right on the line. It's pretty tight though. It's going to be touched.
I reckon there's daylight between the ball and the post. Going to be a hard one to overturn.
It will be. There's a frame. You need a frame in between the 2 frames.
It's going to be touched.
So
where was De Koning?
Looking at this angle, we can see the whole of the ball has crossed the back of the scoring line before being touched. Position on the scoreboard.
I was very quick onto that.
No way.
Yes, way.
Absolutely way.
Yes, sends it a goal to the Blues. Jack Martin kicks his first. And it's 1-3-9 the Blues, 2-1-13 the Saints, 4-point lead, Triple M Shell scoreboard.
If that happens on grand final day,
gee whiz, it's because the whole hand was touching the ball from the first frame to the next frame.
do they get any vision that we don't?
I don't know.
There's a goal, boys.
They say
They weren't looking at the same bit of vision I just was. That after needs a review.
Couldn't categorically say that was over.
I did.
You did?
Yeah. And I got it right.
Categorically. But you did.
You got the same opinion of the people in the ARC studio.
Yep.
I'm saying that they're wrong.
Guys, keep inside 50, Marty.
Right. Unless they've got better technology. Anyway, it was a good kick.
See, on that angle there, it looks...
Well, that angle there, clearly over the line.
That's a different angle.
That's what it? Same angle I saw.
Yeah. Anyway, back in the middle, Saints and the Blues. The Blues get there first. They get within 4 points, but the Saints will win the clearance. Crouch. Or Butler trying to be a bit cute. Handballed over the head. Rossi Line won't like that. But Crouch was able to cover up the mistake, lay a tackle. There is Rossi. I don't want any handballs over the head. Yeah, he wouldn't like that at all.
How would he have said it?
Don't be too cute. Just get it on the boot.
Get it to Lenny.
Saints win this clearance. Butler with a better handball, more traditional to Hill, Sinclair, and a short kick to Higgins, who comes back to Brad Hill. Umpire said not 15. Cunningham hasn't heard the call, and Hill tries to squeeze one to Sinclair. Again, a little bit cute. Dow. Owens strips him, wins the ball back, and he'll kick it in deep towards Caminiti. Wiedering's going to get back as the third man. Did it beautifully, Jacob Wiedering. Gee, it's nice when your key defender just keeps taking intercept marks, and he kicks a beautiful ball. Pinpoint perfect to Blake Akers just outside the defensive 50, out of side MCG.
Hasn't always done that, Jacob Wiedering. I think he's added that to his trick bag this year.
Yeah, traditionally just a big spoiler.
Centre wing and goes straight back to the Saints. Battle. Takes a mark. The Blues fans not happy. Thought he dropped it, but it was a mark for mine. Choice hotels around the grounds, Ash.
Demons by 26 points over North, deep into the final term. Melbourne, second on the live ladder, level with Port Adelaide.
Battle to half forward. Front of the pack was Higgins. Handball out. They move it nicely. They go back inside forward 50 to the Saints. It's a high ball. Get underneath that. Marshall did his best. Brought it to ground level. Sharman was good. Higgins' handball missed the target. And it goes out of bounds.
Carlton do look a lot more organised defensively. Just looking out here and looking how they're positioning, they've got good spacings in their defence. They've got a really tight defensive bubble, so St Kilda are going to have to take some risks and try and pull the trigger with a 45-degree passes to try and get through them and get it over the top of their defence.
That's been their strength all year, Stevie, the Blues' defence. Get them in a lot of games. Saints win this clearance, kicks it to a dangerous spot. Wiedering again, another intercept possession. But under pressure, was just forced to kick it to the wing. Wanganeen Miller trying to pull the kicking board. Well read by Cottrell. Took the mark at half back. And he's forced to slow it up. What are the contested ball numbers, Stu?
Contested ball numbers in favour of the Blues at +4, but the intercept marks are 8-3 Carlton's way.
Windhager almost took an intercept mark. Umpire called play on from the bubble. The Blues win the footy. The Saints are trying to double team Curnow, but they're still too good. The pass finds him. 55 out. There's the winger that's free. Kick goes in his direction. That is perfect footy. Well done by the Blues. The kick from Curnow, spot on. Akers had a couple of kicks straight down his throat, and he'll have a shot from 30 metres out straight in front.
How's the penetration on that from Charlie?
It's like it come out of a cannon. 60 metres. Probably didn't get above 8 metres off the ground.
So Akers, 41 career goals from straight in front. Normally a pretty reliable set shot. And he's kicked that one truly. Blues are in front for the first time. They're 2-3-15. St Kilda 2-1-13. 4.5 minutes opening term. Triple M Shelby scoreboard.
Came back to this big ball in front of us here on centre wing. The Blues winning it and then just going through the corridor and then able to spot up, as you called it, Joey. Charlie Curnow was double teamed. He had Marshall and Battle there. But obviously if there's two men on Charlie, there's going to be a free somewhere else. Akers' direct opponent had to slide down to cover for the extra. And then Akers in a hectare of space. Finds it. Beautiful kick.
Top two ranked players for the Blues. Akers, 6 disposals and a major, and Wiedering, 5 disposals, 2 intercept marks, 3 intercept possessions.
First 2 to the Saints, and the Blues answer with 2 of their own through Martin and Akers. Ball up in the middle for McDonald's Rim Hot Water. Triple M Rocks football. Owens tried to take it out. Steele was there as well. He only had one hand free. And the ball was pinned in, Ray said.
Mark and Ron coming out the back, gents. Here we go.
It's Ray sorting things out there. Coming at the back, and he did it nicely. Akers, the goal kicker, spun around in the tackle. Chidcotter snaps it towards half forward. Curnow had it on his chest but couldn't mark it. Now he goes back, gets the football out. Hewitt turns around left foot to the top of the square. Cottrell, front of the pack. The tackle laid and the ball up about 15 metres out from the Blues goal. Now settled, look a bit shaky early, the Blues, but they lead by 2 points.
Watch for Paddy Cripps here on the move.
He's being closely guarded by Jack Steele. Sinclair goes in and gets it. Handball might favour the Blues. Hollins, Fisher will snap it to the top of the square. Saints have the extra numbers. Well done by Cordy, who took the mark. And St Kilda don't want to hold themselves up. They're going to use their numbers by hand. They all get involved. Back to Crouch, who's been in good form. Now Max King has a 2v1. And Wiedering again. For the quarter he's played, we'll get his numbers true. Intercepts and marks and disposals as he will set up from half-back.
This is our 3rd intercept mark. 6 disposals, 4 intercept possessions.
Good start. Hollins from the true centre half-back. Wide to Cottrell, forward to the wing. Charlie Curnow running around everywhere at the moment. We'll get his numbers too. Ash.
Out, Nick!
Charlie Curnow, 5 disposals, 5 marks already.
And he's going to kick this one into the pocket. De Koning and Pitnet were both there. Off hands through for another behind. 2-4-16 the Blues. St Kilda 2-1-13. 3 minutes left in the opening term.
Just love to see Charlie Curnow have a look short there. Every time he wheels, the temptation is to go 50 metres, 50 plus metres. A couple will just present late there, and there's a chance to lower the eyes connected.
Bradley Hill run himself into a bit of trouble, then dumps one into the middle of the ground. Looking for Owens, the ball got out the back. They've got the runners here. Mason Wood is one of them. Right foot, tried to turn it around the corner. Did a pretty good job. King was there. Wiedering fell over at the back. Hollins comes in for help. He's tackled to the ground. But the Blues did well there to wrap it up because the Saints are out. Ball up on the 50. See Harry Mackay in the box. The Harvey Norman replay. Umpire elevates it into the sky. Quick kick out of the pack comes from Hewitt. It's a bouncing ball looking for Martin. Martin had trouble controlling it to start with, but then did a beautiful job to Hollands. Hollands a bouncing ball wide. It's out of bounds. Mason Wood slow to get up, back behind that. 2 minutes 25 to go before quarter time. Carlton 2-4-16. The Saints are 2-1-13. A 3-point lead.
Hold the ball, please. Injured player.
And
Hold up.
this has become the game. Half forward, Mason Wood is just down. Looks like he's winded. And while that's happening, we're just going to stop out on the wing.
He's winded.
Go, mate.
The doctor goes out, so they stop the game.
And
this is going to become a tactic.
Yeah, talk about exploiting this in final, Stevie.
Mason Wood's now got his breath back and he'll run into the stoppage and they'll allow him to feel better. That's nice. Ball's been thrown back in. We'll get to Robbo in a minute. Dow tries to rip it out of there. Steele's going to make it hard. So is Hunter Clark. Robbo, Bob Jane T-Marts, what did you see down there?
It was a tackle from Wood on Martin. And they both winded. So Martin ran off the ground. Wood stayed on. Nice tactics. Was able to get to the contest.
Play on.
Ball up. Marshall tucked down to Hunter Clark. Doherty to Dow, who's going to try and burst through a couple of Saints. He can't. Well done, Butler and Hill. Good tackle.
Stand, please, Pat. Play on. You kick.
And Hill gets it moving to Hunter Clark.
Hunter Clark on centre wing. King offers up a lead. He honours that. Now Wiedering ducks back. He realised he couldn't impact that one, so gets behind the footy now. King's two kicks from home. Plays on. Handballs. Gets the 1-2. The big boy. Handball to back to Burns. Burns running into trouble. Has to use the left. Did it nicely. Sharman with the flyer. Can't mark it. Off hands. On the ground level. And the umpire ball it up 30 metres out from the Saints' goal. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Ash.
It's the Demons by 32 points over the Kangaroos. 15-13, 103 to 10-11, 71. 2 to go before full time.
Ball up 20 out from St Kilda goal. A lot of players around this one. And we'll have a secondary stoppage. Still a minute 26 left in the quarter. Carlton by 3 points. Kick the last couple. Fisher wins the clearance, kicks it high and wide. It'll bounce just out. And the umpire has been a bit more lenient on the insufficient intent this week, and they'll throw it in. 55 metres around.
Zach Fisher will be sitting there at half-back going, how long has this been going on for?
Yeah. He's opposed to Bradley Hill, so whoever has the bigger influence on the game out of those two will go a long way to winning this.
The old-fashioned shootout.
Yep.
Clark tries to handball it out to Wanganeen Miller up. There's Fisher again. Kicks towards the wing.
Love the shootout.
Cunningham try to be first onto it. Sinclair mops up. Saints will look to attack. Hill. That's Zach Fisher's man. Handballs to Mitch Owens, who's got some players queuing up in the corridor. One of them's Hunter Clark. The other's Sinclair. Brody Kemp, well read, came off his man. Strong contact and then won the ball back. But it's only as far as Sinclair, who has Higgins running for him inside 15. Well done, Sinclair. First of all, the 50-50 ball that hurt him, that he stayed up. Ball bounced back to his hands and then he found the mark inside 50.
Great.
Good composure.
And this bloke is one of the great anticipators in the AFL. He's grown up watching every game of footy since he was a young kid. He makes decisions just that split second quicker than those around him, and that's why he finds himself in positions like this to find that space and get a shot on goal.
He's generally a 50-50 set shot, but he's already missed one this quarter, which means he'll kick this one. That's 50-50. And he's got it, and the Saints are back in front. 3-1-19. Carlton 2-4-16. Just 6 seconds to go in the quarter. Good quarter of footy. Triple M shell scoreboard.
We know that Ross loves pressure and effort. The Saints have brought that in spades in the early part of this one. Pressure going at 193, plus 10 in the tackles. They could just tidy up that intercept marking ability of the Blues, bring the ball to ground. They've looked very dangerous every time they've gone centre forward. Smalls are getting busy. Talls are doing their part. And Sinclair there, well done. A little bit of individual brilliance and hardness.
So just on that Hill v Fisher matchup, Hill's going up and just roaming around the ground, trying to get back and support the defence and trying to be the link man, whereas Fisher's just sitting across half back and trying to mop up anything that comes his way.
6 seconds to go. Ball up in the middle. You would have thought there's too much time left for a score, and there's not. Good, entertaining quarter of football. 3-1-19 the Saints. 2-4-16 the Blues. 3-point lead at quarter time to St Kilda. We'll be back after the break with Ash, Robbo, and the back row, Daisy, and also Stevie J to take us through what happened in the first quarter. For McDonald's Dream Hot Water, Triple M, Rocks Footy.
The footy's on Triple M. That quarter for Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Macca's Cheesy Range. Have a post-game stretch.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Straight after this game, join the Temper Mattress call team for Fremantle and Brisbane.
Freo are not going away in this game.
Lions not done with yet. Marine Hot Water and McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy.
Sizzling bacon and juicy 100% Aussie Angus meets a golden cheesy patty. The new Cheesy Angus at Macca's. Now that puts the win in winter. Available after 10:30am for a limited time.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery.
Take me now, hot cool man. Take me now, Sexyland.
Sexyland.com.au.
Australia. I've been doing some investigating, and I've found you can save 30% on your first year's premium when you purchase a new combined home and contents policy online with Budget Direct. A case of online being on the money. Isn't it time you switched to Budget Direct?
Insurance solved with Budget Direct.
Issuer Auto and General Insurance Company Limited. Read PDS and TMD at budgetdirect.com.au to decide if products suit you. Individual circumstances and policy terms may vary. Compare for yourself.
Melbourne's best buys. If you're an electrician, builder or interior designer, Beacon Trade is on your team, here to lighten your load. Sign up to partner with Beacon Trade. Together, let's make light work.
Best buys.
With Superloop's Lightspeed plan, you get ultra-fast 1 gigabit speeds for only $99 a month, which is great for when you need to deliver that Zoom presentation about circling back to move forward while hitting the ground running with wow factor that synergises integration while zigging when others zag across the board for the fourth quarter, if that's your kind of thing. Buzzword more, buffer less. With Lightspeed from Superloop, 1 gigabit speeds for only $99 a month. Superloop, refresh your internet. See website for T's and C's.
You can hardly see a metre in front of you. The oncoming headlights are just a blur. If your wiper blades are noisy, streaking or smearing, don't wait for that next downpour to start thinking about replacing them. Do it now and drive safe with Trico. Manufactured to the strictest quality and safety standards, find the right blades for your ride at tricoproducts.com.au. Trico wiper blades, unmatched quality, outstanding performance. Available at Autobarn, Repco, Burson, Autopro, Napa and all good automotive workshops.
Wouldn't it be great if you could pack more into your travel insurance? Well, with Qantas Travel Insurance, you can. Choose from a range of great value cover options to protect your trip overseas or closer to home. Plus, earn up to 5,000 Qantas points for every policy you take out by the 14th of September. Plan to get away with more today. Search Qantas Travel Insurance to get a quick quote. Insurance issued by AIG Australia Limited. Before deciding to purchase, consider PDS and TMD available at qantas.com/travel-insurance. T's and C's apply.
It's another day at school, but it's the last place a young girl like Jess wants to be. Why? Because it's a constant reminder she lives in poverty. Her uniform doesn't fit, her shoes are falling apart, and her backpack is a plastic bag. Right now, there are 1 in 6 Australian children living in poverty who need our support. You can help by becoming a sponsor through the Smith family. Please sponsor an Australian child today.
Triple M rocks footy. This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Welcome back to Marvel Stadium, quarter time, 3-1-19, the Saints 2-4-16, the Blues. Goal scorers are Marshall, Butler and Higgins. And for the Blues, Martin and Akers kicked a couple of goals. Ash, Triple M Red Z lending stats, loans for the self-employed.
Just a match-up between Fisher and Brad Hill. Fisher 11 disposed, was a couple of clearances. Brad Hill with 6 touches.
That's quick. Ash, you want to do some more?
Yep. Sinclair's also been busy with 9, Owens 9, Crouch 9 and 4 clearances, and Patrick Cripps 11 and 4 clearances. Blues top in the contested ball +8.
People want stats, Ash. They want information. They want data. Don't be ever scared. Just go the extra mile.
You're right.
Robbo, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Speaking of Jack Sinclair, looked at videotape that last smack of his on about half forward with Kemp. They've looked at the video several times. They even went out and had a bit of a discussion with him. So there was heavy contact there. I think he's going to be okay. And some individual coaching, especially with Brad Hill, Ross Lyon, even drawing diagrams and where to run and whatever. Spent good 4 or 5 minutes with him, just individually coaching him in that quarter-time huddle.
Boys in the back row. Triple M Bus Super Special comments. What happened in the first quarter?
It was a good first quarter. From a Saints point of view, they were happy with how I would assume they moved the ball from deep 50 to forward 50. Just needed to tidy up those intercept marks. But I feel like both sides got a little bit on their own terms at times, Stevie.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty even. I mean, statistically, nothing really stands out. The inside 50s were pretty even, the contested ball and clearance. So it was just probably the difference. The two teams probably going inside 50 just weren't smart enough with lowering their eyes when they needed to and being a little bit more composed with the footy in hand, Joey.
How do you see the match-up in regards to Charlie Curnow? So St Kilda trying to double-team him at stoppages. He's been dominant, but up the ground. Would that be okay for St Kilda if he takes 12 marks and has 20 possessions playing high up the ground?
Well, not if
winning that battle.
Yeah, no, I think he's winning that battle right at the moment, given they're double-teaming him, but he's just got to be really smart with his ball use as well. He likes to roll and go all the time, but sometimes he's just going to let the play unfold and wait for gaps to open up so they can tick back at him. He's good enough kick to do that without wheeling and putting the pressure on himself. If he takes 15 marks today, that's a big game.
He's looming large, Charlie Curnow. De Koning's down with him at full forward for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy, second quarter underway. Crouch with the centre clearance. Handballs to Owens, playing some more midfield minutes. But he's high, quick kick only as far as Nick Newman. Another intercept mark for the Blues, Chew.
Dominating that particular stat. The intercept marks are 9-4 Carlton's way.
He was a bit slow, Chew, man. Sard from centre half back goes towards Jack Martin in a one-on-one. He's looking good. Takes the mark, 60 out on Webster. Saints get numbers back in their defensive 50, so he has to kick a short ball to Cunningham. The man on the mark, 49 metres out. This might test Cunningham. Daisy, you'd know his leg better than any of us. Has he got the journey?
I'm going to go with no.
He doesn't have the confidence here. He's looking around. He's going to pass it late or go top of the square.
Cripps is pointing for it in his vicinity. He'll go over his head towards Curnow, who's got 3 to beat. Marshall and Wilkie. Wilkie handballs towards the boundary line. Oh, it's close.
Poor entry.
Would have been paid early in the year. Yeah, it was just kicked to a big pack.
As soon as you realise you're not within range, you need to go back and try and find an option pretty quickly. And if there's no free or spare, just get it to a dangerous spot and not wait for the numbers to get back from the Saints.
Cripps, who had 4 clearances in that first quarter, lurking. Well done by the tackle from Battle. Just affected him enough. Now the kick to the opposite pocket. Rush ball. Akers at ground level. There's another fumble. Two-man. Put that in the stat book. Clean hands from Webster. And look at the difference. Saints chain it by handball. Now Webster has a fumble. Put that in the stat book, Chew. Doherty, he went to ground. The ball was under him. He's going to be pinged.
The pressure is on for both sides. I think that's what's forcing these fumbles. They always seem to be under pressure or perceived pressure just based on what's happening in the first part of this game.
Crouch handballed it to Bradley Hill, who gave it back to Crouch for a kick on centre wing. Caminiti pushed in the back, gets up quickly, and now pretty much every Carlton player ahead of him has set up a zone, so have to go long and strong down the line.
Higgins is out here.
Front of the pack is Marshall. It's not Marshall, it's Owens. Moves quickly to that man, Marshall. Over the top, couldn't mark it. Ball at ground level. Opportunity for Hill again. Wild ball, Hollins picked it up, got it to Marchbank. Gives it out to Cripps. Another handball forward to Marchbank. They're under pressure here, the Blues. The tackling from the St Kilda Football Club has been outstanding, but they get it out eventually in a wide ball and out of bounds. How does the umpire see that? Throw it in.
Good pressure from the Saints. If Marshall had taken that decent contested pack mark, they were out everywhere. Higgins was in the forward pocket by himself.
And he's pushing forward, trying to kick goals on Pitnet.
There they are in the ruck, Pitnet and Marshall. And Marshall follows up with a terrific tackle. And now Owens sweeps it over his head. Pitnet and Hill. Hill's got the speed, Pitnet the size. Doherty throws it on the boot. Marshall under it again. Strong hands. He's looking good, Rowan Marshall. He thought about going to King in the pocket. Ignored it. King still wants it. Caminiti's at the top of the square. Instead, he kicks it directly to his opponent, Mark Pitnet, who dropped in the hole. And he apologises to everyone, including the coach's box.
I'll tell you one matchup that Carlton need to be a little bit aware of is Sard going to Higgins. Higgins is a very smart footballer, and Sard likes to come across and be third man into packs. Higgins at ground level got to be very conscious of where his man is, while also defending in team defence.
That's why we pulled him out of the Giants. Triple M, Seabar Super special comments. Seabar Super making hard work pay off. Steve Johnson, good knowledge of the game inside forward 50. They go again. Ground level. Crouch. Snapping across his body. Bringing it back enough. And the Saints have got another one. 25-16. 9-point lead. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard built to tackle Australia's toughest divisions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Good ball movement and good decision finally as that ball went inside forward 50. Crouch spread twice from those in-out-in plays. It was the option that Marshall should have gone to the first time when he kicked it back to his direct opponent, but just better work rate from the St Kilda mids there as that ball went inside. Won a good contest inside their forward 50 and then were good enough to farm it out. King involved there. Hasn't done a whole heap in this one, but looking to get busier in this second term.
And Saints pressure. They're going at 179 this year. They're at 200 as we speak, and Brad Crouch, 13 disposals, 5 clearances and a major.
Coming off 33 last week. And Ross Lyon was quietly confident pre-game, wasn't he? He felt their best footy was ahead of them, the Saints, and they're certainly playing it. Marshall wins the centre clearance. Quick kick only as far as Newman again takes the intercept mark. Switch kick to Doherty. Although he leaves it for Kemp and then gets handball receive instead. So they both get a touch. There's the pressure from St Kilda again. Oh, Doherty didn't handle it. Forced the turnover. Caminiti to Higgins. King's in space. Can it get to him? Oh, it was difficult. It was a low bouncing ball. And the Blues get back in numbers. Although Marchbank had a little hesitation. There's the pressure again. Dan Butler all over him. And he'll have a shot for goal for his second, 25 metres out, and he'll go with the Stevie J curve.
Oh, you know what I love about this play? Watch King come through. Marchbank expecting the contact, led with his head. King got completely out of the way, so he didn't give away the free kick, and then Butler on the scene. Marchbank going to pick the ball up, Harvey Norman, led with his head. King missed him. Butler good enough to make the tackle.
Time back on, please.
Is he a good step up, Stevie? Dan Butler?
I like him more on the run, more than the set shot snap, but he is going with it.
Put it in the book, Stevie.
Tell us how his technique is.
It looks good here. He's nice and square with the goals, couple of steps.
And gets it straight over the goal umpire's head. Gives the Saints crowd a fist. Good Saints contingent here, and they are up and about. They're feeling good about themselves. 5-1-31. Carlton 2-4-16. 15-point lead early stages. Second term, Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Well, you're right, pre-game. I mean, Ross Lyon spoke to us on the Sunday Rub, and he was very confident that they were still capable of playing some better footy this year, and very confident coming into today's game. A lot of people have said, they haven't beaten anyone, up the top end of the ladder, but today's performance, as we look at them today, they are on fire. The pressure around the footy, their ability to find the ground balls and apply pressure is the reason why they're kicking goals at the moment.
Last three to the Saints. They lead by 15 points. Bounce in the middle. Pitnet and Marshall. Marshall won that one. Cripps trying to lift the Blues with a left footer out of the middle. Bouncing ball. First one there is Cottrell. He's got some good wheels on him. Cottrell inside forward 50, but the only man there is Sinclair. Numbers for Sinclair. Started well, Ash.
10 disposals, 5th rated player in the AFL.
And a good kick out wide to Mason Wood. Marks it on his chest. He's on centre wing on the City side. Rolls around on the left and then kicks it straight back to Carlton, and the mark taken by Sard.
It's a couple of poor kicks from Mason Wood.
They absolutely kill you. You've done all the hard work to win it back, get it to a dangerous spot, then cough it straight back up.
Akers wanted to go to Curnow in that battle with Wilkie, but as soon as it was kicked, he ran over to support and took an easy, uncontested intercept mark. So held up just inside the boundary line, out of side Marvel. Good crowd here. Sunday afternoon footy on Triple M. Hope you're enjoying it. Sharman flies, Sard at ground level. Hard ball to be won. Akers comes through. He had a little fumble. Cripps flicks it out. Marchbank had another fumble. So Cripps has to go and lay a tackle on Gresham. Blues flick it around by hand. Newman just dumps it out of the area. High ball towards half forward. Battle again sitting under it. Charlie Curnow tried to take on Battle. He couldn't. Holding the ball. And the Saints are away on the counter-attack.
Handball through the middle. Gresham's your man off to Sinclair. Sinclair's got a player on. He's already kicked to Butler. He'll run into 30 and give this one off to King. Good football. Butler wanted it back. That was a bit ambitious. King to go back and kick the goal.
Well, Cottrell made a really poor decision on the wing. I know King's going to have this shot on goal, another set shot snap, and we'll see what happens.
Setting up for the snap, right foot, gets the job done. The Saints have kicked 4 in a row. And it's a handy lead, 37 plays 16, Titanium Caravans, Stevie Johnson.
But Daisy, as we've seen Cottrell come off that wing, it was a really bad pressing move. He was never going to be able to impact the ball carrier, and then it was just the Chinese checkers. Butler got the ball in the hands. They pressed up off King, and King was just in a mountain of space, and just a nice little kick to advantage to King in the pocket there. And that shot on goal for him, that's a 9 out of 10 with the set shot snap in that position.
That tackle from Battle on Curnow was the one that broke the whole passage up, and I love the fact that the Saints are taking the Blues on when they win the ball back, went with real speed through that corridor.
For the Blues, they're ranked 4th defensively for conceding least number of scores from turnover, only 42 points per game today. Saints have kicked 5 straight from turnover, 5 out of the 6 majors from turnover.
It's been off their tackle pressure too, man. It's been electric so far. Rossi's got them wound up. He wanted a fast start. He wanted to play brave, and they're doing that. That's a better kick from Wood. Top finds Hunter Clark, who wheels. He's usually pretty good. It was a good kick towards Sharman. Well read. Georgie Hewitt got back in the hole, took the mark, and then just stepped off his line. So it was called the play on. Had to give it to Newman. Then gets it back. Crosses the defensive 50. Kicks it towards the wing. 1-on-1 Cunningham. Behind Mason Wood. Takes the mark. Slows it up. And goes laterally. Akers. Now he wants to go. He's just going to kick it blindly. That's the reason why Cunningham didn't go. Saints had the numbers back there. Windhager. Handball to Wilkie. He's kick smothered. Well done by the Blues. Fogarty. Windhager. Now here comes Carlton's forward pressure. Ground ball. Top of the 50. Who's going to go and get it? No one at the moment. Motlop's in there, so is Jimmy Webster. And we'll get down to our man Robbo, Bob Jane T-Marts.
How good was Ross before the game, Joey? And the fact that what he spoke about is all starting to roll off. I know it's only early days and anything can happen in this game, but gee, he had crystal ball out, didn't he?
Like a modern-day wizard. Inside forward 50, the Blues go. They need a goal badly. Curnow 1-2. Couldn't take it. Coming through and be a wrapped up ball.
That was a good get, Robbo. You getting in for us on the boundary line. We appreciate that. Bob Jane T-Marts. A great buy free, get one free, plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply.
Have another ball up. Umpire comes in. Doherty going nowhere.
Tackle numbers, Truman.
36-23, St Kilda's way. Disposals are dead even.
Fogarty doing some work at ground level. Tackled by 3 Saints back to the ground. Third ball up in succession. St Kilda defensively, as we know, very good. Not allowing the Blues out anywhere. De Koning to do the ruck work. Went to the boundary side. De Koning got it down to Doherty. We'll do it again. 4th ball up, straight in a row. Is that a record, Ash?
I reckon back in Moorabbin in 83, I think Robbo was playing that in that game. We had 9 consecutive ball-ups.
9 consecutive ball-ups. Can you believe that, Robbo?
That's how we used to roll down Moorabbin, in the mud.
Butler, not 15, play on. 5 ball-ups in a row.
Top of the 50. Saints out to a 19-point lead. 21 points, in fact. How's my maths? They win this clearance. Crouch. Another disposal. Kick to the wing. Kemp. Caminiti. Kemp. Good one-on-one battle. Still going at it. Butler in the end just goes and rips it away. Sharp handball was a bit too sharp for Filippo, who has to go back a second time. Caminiti's kick. Hot, intense game. The Blues, look at all the numbers around the footy. Can they run and spread? They can't. They run straight into a Hunter Clark tackle. And then Butler runs straight into a Paddy Dow tackle. There are numbers everywhere. And Chincotta takes the advantage, blazes away. And St Kilda again double-teaming Curnow, who's getting a little bit frustrated this quarter. And the kick is short to Crouch. Mason Wood throws it on the boot. It stays in play just, and eventually we'll have a boundary throw in centre wing out of side Marvel Stadium. Allow everyone to set back up in positions. It's a hot game of footy, Stevie.
It's just interesting to see how Carlton reset here. They're leaving the St Kilda small forwards. They're leaving one out ahead of the ball all the time and backing themselves to put the pressure on around the ball and cause quick surge kicks in line with the footy. So if they can get it through, St Kilda small forwards are going to have a day out here today.
Boundary throw in, centre wing out of side. Newman stepped in and out of traffic, went to half forward, and the Saints stand up again at half back. Jimmy Webster marks the football, transfers play. Burns onto his left, bouncing ball to Sinclair, tough one to take. Cottrell came in, had Dow for support. Dow being tackled, got his handball out to Cottrell. Cottrell turns around on the left, went with the handball at the end. Chincotta runs the arc and then pumps it back in. Motlop's the target. Saints back with numbers again. An intercept, and Wilkie does that every day. Eats them for breakfast.
Yeah, if they keep bobbing the ball in, Carlton, it's going to keep getting chopped off.
Stand, Sam.
Short kick to Hunter Clark. And he's just going to slow it down.
You kick.
Understand the situation. Mason Wood.
Outside 5.
Still at half back. He's going to switch the footy. They have the outnumber, and they're going to have a player sneaking off the bench here. It's Wanganeen Miller up and Brad Hill. So now they've got the outnumber, the Saints. They just need to think their way through it. Burns saw Wanganeen Miller up. He's got Butler over the top. Stevie J said these smalls are getting out in space. Look at him. He's going to wait for Wanganeen Miller to give it back. The man on the mark peels away. So he kicks it himself. Here's Marshall again. Couldn't bring it down. Well done, Blues. Golden opportunity gone begging. And then Wiedering takes the mark in the back pocket.
It was that Carlton player that got back. That was extraordinary defensive work. Short ball, Hollands just inside defensive 50. The Blues are under the pump at the moment. They trail by 21. Hollands under pressure again, kicks to centre wing. Curnow can't mark it. Did a good job to bring it to ground level. That's out of bounds on the full just about. The umpire said no. Throw in.
Curnow starting to get frustrated ahead of the ball.
St Kilda Ruck.
Tag, scrag, pulled off it every time. Doing a good job down there, the Saints.
No St Kilda Ruck. No St Kilda Ruck.
I don't think there's a St Kilda Ruck.
Get ready to tackle,
There is no St Kilda Ruck. As they push it forward, Ray just really making his presence felt out there. I don't know why there couldn't be a St Kilda Ruck. Wanganeen Miller up, his handball went forward, steal, tackle to the ground. And I'm not sure what the rule is there, but there was a ruckman available.
Yep.
Owens was putting his hand up, but Ray was steadfast. There was no St Kilda Ruck, which is a bit strange.
St Kilda.
The ball hadn't been thrown in, so you're entitled to turn up late, aren't you? Put your hand up.
Absolutely, Stevie. Any party days he goes to, he gets there late.
Oh, yeah.
It's the entry.
Fashionably.
Yeah, absolutely. Boundary throw in.
Holding, Carlton.
Free kick goes to Blues.
Go through. Yes, go through.
Saints.
He said the Blues, didn't he? But he
Hold
pointed.
the footy, Chris. Grab hold of the ball, mate. Chris, grab the ball.
No one on the ground knows which way this is going.
Here Razor Ray then saying Chris hold the footy to the umpire because they red set the field wrong.
Well, that's right. And then he was going to pay a 50 if Hunter Clark didn't give it back straight away, but it would have been unfair. All the Saints were running off.
That's a farce.
So in the end, it didn't cost them. It would have been controversial.
Play on.
Saints Facebook page would have lit up tonight.
Oh.
Instead,
are you still a member?
A voting member.
I'm not sure
what
life
member.
The Blues have gone to a mode of play. They're down there on the bench /Avalani with some sort of volleyball sign up.
Play on.
Looks like a lollipop.
Rui in that group as well.
Well, they haven't scored this quarter, the Blues. Rui keeps up to date with all the Saints news by Facebook, and he kicks long down the line. The Saints Wiedering again takes another intercept mark. He's having a good game, and he goes short to Marchbank.
Stand.
The 2-4-16 was the score. The Blues had a quarter time. Still there. They go backwards. Fisher been good at half back, a little bit quieter this quarter, Ash.
This is his first touch for the quarter, 11 for the game.
Has been on the bench for a large portion of it, Chairman.
Stand.
10 in the first quarter, now up to 11. They go wide, looking for Paddy Cripps. Fisted away, got some time in front of Wood to get the football back. Wood did a good job and tackled him, got the handball away. Pressure was outstanding. That allowed the second pressure to come in, and the Saints win it back. And fortuitously goes to Wood, who then just blasts it straight back to the Blues. At half back, and the human caravan gives it to Kemp. Kemp chips it into the middle of the ground. Fisher starting to rack him up again. It's his second this quarter. Back inside forward 50, and they'll kick it straight back to the Saints again. Ground level. Opportunity now for Martin. Martin to Dow. Dow looking forward, finding out the back is Motlop. It was more luck than design, and the Blues should kick their first goal of the second term.
Well, they had that one absolutely sewn up, the Saints defenders. There was just an errant hand in. I think it was Jimmy Webster coming across. Just needed to work his man under the footy and allow Battle and the other defenders to mop that up. Once it hit the deck, bit of chaos, and Motlop ends up on the end of it.
9 goals won from set shots this year. Triple M Red Z Lending stats tells me that he kicks this, Daisy. Right foot, makes no mistake. Blues first goal of the second term, and a badly needed one. 3-4-22 to 6-1-37. St Kilda lead by 15 points on the Titanium Caravan scoreboard. We've got 6 minutes 13 to go before half-time.
Yeah, they did get a little bit lucky there, Nath. That scrap ball forward, and he just ended up right place, right time. But you touched on it during the call, Joey. Wiedering across half-back is having an absolute day out for Carlton. If it wasn't for him, I would have thought this lead would be out to more of a 5 or 6 goal lead for the Saints, but he's intercepting across half-back and then able to generate a bit of attack going back the other way has been really significant.
Just with Mason Wood, 12 kicks, but going at 33% efficiency. His season average is 63 this year.
Back to 15 points. And we reset again. Good game of footy. Remember, Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install the Ream. De Koning and Marshall. Paddy Dow wins the clearance, has no left foot, so he tried to kick it on the outside of the boot towards the wing. Set Ollie Hollands a task. And Mason Wood sees that ball go out of bounds. I'd like to see him either tuck it under the arm and burst away there, Daisy, or kick on the left.
Yeah, and he has the capabilities to use his razzle-dazzle and get out of there. Probably just deprived of a little bit of confidence being in and out of the side, and largely not in for the most of the part of this year.
Mitch Owens wins the clearance for St Kilda from the throw-in. Kicks it towards half forward. Well done, Chincotta. Handball to Kemp, who went back to where the traffic was, made Hollands work, but he stood under it and then gets the free kick for a hold against Jack Steele. Crowd numbers again, Chew, what do you reckon they'll be?
We're nudging 40,000, Joey.
Good, healthy crowd.
Lacking a bit of run at the moment, the Blues. What's Adam Saar's numbers, Ash?
Adam Saar only 4 disposals.
They've got a couple of free kicks here, Carlton. This time it's De Koning. And on the mark on the Toyota logo. De Koning. He's just going to bomb it again towards Charlie Curnow, who again's got Saints all around him. But he's almost too good. Second bite, third bite, nearly. Not quite. And then Cunningham wrapped up, 55 out from the Blues goal.
The challenge for Michael Voss to reset his forward structure so Curnow does get some room. He's not been able to get on the end of it if it continues this way. So what does Michael Voss do at half-time for the coach's box? Bouncing ball towards centre wing. Nice handball out to that man, Mason Wood. Can he hit the target this time? Fisted away by Sard. The boundary throw-in.
If you're in the Saints coaches, the Blues coaches box, why wouldn't you just put Charlie as the deepest out of the goal square? So make them make a decision. Do you double team him down there and allow an extra number up the field? Or if you leave him one-on-one, if the Blues can get through, it's going to be a nice prospect coming out of full forward.
It means they have to run the ball a bit more as well. I like it, Daisy. Triple MC Bus Super Special comments. Boundary throw-in is Paddy Cripps. Got the handball forward. It's good to Dow. Another one to Owies, who was on fire early, hardly touched it since then. Steele came in, took the ball away from him to Crouch, to Sinclair. Handball forward to Wood. Another one to Bradley Hill. Been good so far. Hill smothered off the boot. Good defensive pressure from the Blues, and that came from Fisher. Well, the boundary thrown on the outer side.
Well, this is really, Stevie, where they're missing Harry Mackay, aren't they? He's the only tall forward out of the 6 of them. So with De Koning in the ruck pit there on the bench, he almost needs to be where the quick kick is.
I'm probably opposite to Joey. I'd play him up a little bit higher. I thought they were a bit more dangerous in that first quarter when he was marking the ball 50 to 70. If he goes back deep, they're just dropping off the half forwards that are getting up nice and high around the stoppage. So play him up higher and put Jack Martin back to the goal square, where I think he can be a little bit too nimble down there for his opponent in battle.
A little bit of disagreement in the back row between structures.
A couple of different options.
That's all it is. Healthy debate. That's what the coaches all do. Hollands tries to win the clearance of the Blues. St Kilda's pressure still unrelenting. Crouch, another tackle. Dow taking down the tackle. And he got the free kick. Another free kick for hold. Butler doesn't like it. Dow's numbers, two-man, seems to be a fan favourite of the Blues. Oh, poor handball, save that. It might be turned over. Saints have got the numbers. Caminiti got the hands free. Butler tried to sneak one forward to Higgins. Now Hill has some time. Sees Philippo in space and he's taken the mark. Stevie J's called it. They are getting out goal side. and he'll go back and have a shot 35 out straight in front.
Well, Higgins and Gresham were both out then as well, but the young fella here, he's just said, no, I'm taking this upon my shoulders.
Jay Gresham couldn't believe it, could he?
He couldn't believe it, could he? Because he was in an acre of space. He would have marked the ball another 15 metres closer, but...
in saying that, he's 40 out directly in front.
Yeah, and the kid's confident. He rates himself from Filippo. He's had a good debut here, that's why. That's what we love about this kid. He just goes back and backs himself in. And the Saints get their 7th of the first half. They're 7-1-43. The Blues 3-4-22. Back to a 21-point lead. 3 minutes to go, second term, Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
So for anyone who missed it, Stevie, you said the Saints Smalls were going to have a day out. Just explain what, again, the Blues are doing, which is allowing the Saints forwards, and especially the small forwards, to have such an impact ripping back towards goal.
So what's happening is the defenders of the Blues are getting in line with the football. They're putting a spare in line with the football, really basically paying no respect to their direct opponents. Yeah. So if St Kilda are able to squeeze a kick through and pop that defensive bubble, they're getting out the back of their opponents, and they're not able to close that space quick enough to get back and re-engage and defend one-on-one. So it's a real concern here for Carlton.
Triple M, Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Robbo, quick one.
It was great of Gresham to actually go to Filippo after he kicked that goal just to congratulate him. So he burned him, but he made sure he did the team thing, Gresham.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was a congratulations. I reckon it's, if you don't use me again, I'll be coming for your head.
Robbo for Bob Jane T. Marts in the middle again. Owens, standing start, a bouncing ball down towards half forward. Higgins led in the race forward. Looked for Filippo, couldn't get it to him. Now the Blues, can they get some run off half back? Good handball, finds Doherty, but intercepting it was Windhager. Windhager did a good job, but now Burns gets an opportunity. Burns picked it up, paddled it forward, only as far as Fisher. Fisher to Doherty, absolutely gets pole-driven into the ground by Bradley Hill, and the ball goes out of bounds, and the umpire has given Doherty a free kick. Wake up, umpire. That was terrible.
It was. That was just a good, fair, hard tackle.
Become a thing though, Dave, doesn't it? Every player when they get tackled from behind now just flips forward. He didn't. They fall forward. There's footy Karma. He's turned it over. Higgins. And they're out again. There's Gresham, Stevie J out the back. And he's taken the mark exactly from where Mateus Filippo kicked the goal earlier.
Could have given it to...
And straight away, Gresh turned his back. Said, I ain't passing to anyone.
Could have given it to Sharman, who was running into an open goal.
Nope.
Now you have to kick it.
Gee, they're on their toes, the Saints. Good turnover. And they're off to the races.
9, 8, 7.
Gresham didn't even think about the handball. And he needs to go back. Shoeman, what is he from here? 50-50?
41-36 career-wise.
Just better than 50-50. And he's just made the distance and hooked it. 7-2-44. They doubled the Blues. 3-4-22 inside the final 2 minutes of this first half.
I reckon that was more of a burning than the Filippo one.
It's a big let-off too, going into half-time.
Nick Newman looking for Akers. Strong kick and good mark by Akers. Beautiful kick by Newman. Covered every bit of 60 metres out of the defensive 50. Blues have been able to butcher the football on multiple occasions today. They go back to Newman. Been getting good numbers the last month, Ash.
He has us up to 14 disposals, Newman. Had big numbers last week with 27.
I think you find the last 5 games in a row he's had 20 plus. St Kilda worked the ball back towards centre wing. Battle, quick change of handballs. Towards half forward, looking for King. King pushed out of the pack. At the back is Marchbank. Marchbank had a bit of a moment. Now he's lost the football. Good handball from the Saints. Gresham was missed by the handball. The opportunity gone. He's going to be run down from behind Holland. Got him again. And then behind the ball, he didn't pay it. And the Blues get out, and the Saints fans are going bunter.
There's 4 umpires. Somebody blow your bloody whistle.
And now Akers arches the back, breaks through to Dow. Wouldn't it sting if it went the other way for a goal? Curnow in a one-on-one. Battle's going to get the free kick. Well done. That was a big one-on-one ball.
So to describe it to the fans listening, Butler has ran and tackled a bloke 20 metres out from his goal. It was gone. The umpire was 5 metres away and said play on. The St Kilda player, his teammate, even picked up the ball and said, no, I don't want to take the advantage.
Filippo.
He could have been convinced.
10 seconds left in the quarter. Crouch. Sharman, they have to find a mark from this Gresham kick. He sends it into Ryan Marshall direction. And he thought he was held. He dropped the chest mark. He's had a few moments in the first half. Gresham. Saints fans are booing. Dan Butler's arguing with the umpire. It's all happening, but St Kilda. And we take a look at the Harvey Norman replay. What do you reckon, boys? He did get a fist to it, but did he drop it?
He threw it up first.
But he threw it up first. That was an illegal handball.
It's an illegal handball, so it's gone.
It should have been holding the ball. It doesn't matter. The Blues survive. And they have got some work to do. Carlton, if they want to be in the 8s. They are trailing by 22 points, 3-4-22. St Kilda up and about, 7-2-44. So are we in the box. Daisy and Stevie J with Two-Man will take us through the first half. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M, rocking footy.
That quarter for Titanium Caravans. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Let's all gather around the radio.
When you say action, I'm your guy.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show.
Never trust a fart.
It has Marty Sheargold.
Oh, my God. Well, let me apologise in advance.
A man that isn't afraid of asking the big questions.
Hash browns. Discuss.
Yeah. Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. It's a show for grown-ups.
I mean, flick around right now and see if anyone's doing a pumpkin story. They won't be. They'll be talking about photos of their kids.
Kickstart your day with a laugh. Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. 6 to 9 weekdays on Triple M.
Choose between 100% Aussie beef or crispy chicken. Then add a golden cheesy patty and tomato chili jam. The cheesy chicken and cheesy beef are back at Macca's because everything's better with cheese. Available after 10:30am for a limited time.
Are you unaffected by cold and flu? Australian Red Cross Lifeblood needs you and your blood. Australia urgently needs more blood donors now while so many of our regular donors rest up and recover from winter lurgies. If you have the immunity of a superhero, you've kept your distance from sick mates, and you've been lucky enough to dodge the bugs, it's your time to shine. Search Give Blood to book your donation today. Give life. Give blood.
Win a super VIP experience at the 2023 Toyota AFL Grand Final in the Shell V-Power Superbox. Visit shell.com.au/superbox for details. AFL authorised Grand Final promotion GF AFL 23/55.
At Stuart Marler. G'day, I'm Alan from Volkswagen. You said utes occupy a unique space between being a car and a truck. Firstly, I hope you don't speak to your mother with that mouth. And secondly, try ours. With all the next level tech of a car and the 3.5-ton pulling power of a truck, it's a beeping great space to be in. So, why don't you book a test drive today? The all-new Amarok, born from tough love.
Goals. We all have them. Like Ava, the under-8s coach whose goal is inspiring her team to play their best. And Combank's goal, supporting football at every level and the FIFA Women's World Cup 2023. For all the goals we share.
Inputs, outputs, tax credits, profits and losses.
Where's my pie chart?
Oh yes, Janet Klomp is your run-of-the-mill accountant. This is her business.
Welcome to Snap.
But thanks to the office signage and stationery she had designed and printed at her local Snap Print Solution Centre, Janet's clients know her as...
The number ninja. Yeah!
Because that is her brand. Whatever business you're in, visit snap.com.au and go from business to brand in a snap.
All new Easy Coat from Taubmans. Easy to apply, easy to dry, easy to clean. For an easy as paint job, visit your local Bunnings warehouse today. All new Easy Coat. Easy as.
My Speed Boost from Superloop gives you extra internet juice when you need it. So whether your family is minting an NFT, listening to R&B, answering their Call of Duty, or reading gossip that's juicy. They can all internet at once, knowing they've got 5-speed upgrade days to use every month. Superloop. Refresh your internet. See website for T's and C's.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. Get in, get out, get on with it at Mitre 10 Trade.
This is the halftime break for Mitre 10. Get in, get out, get on with it. And for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocking footy, and it's St Kilda leading the Blues by 22 points in the first half. They're 7-2-44. Carlton 3-4-22. Dan Butler's kicked a couple. Rowan Marshall, Jack Higgins, Brad Crouch, Max King and Mateus Filippo all getting in on the act. While for the Blues, individual goal kickers Jack Martin, Blake Akers and Jesse Motlop. It was St Kilda by 3 points at quarter time, and they extended that with a 4-goal to 1 second term. I'm here with Daisy Thomas and Chew Man. Before I get your thoughts, Daisy, Chew, it was a bit of a St Kilda ambush in that first half. Talk us through their tackle and pressure numbers first.
The pressure rating, St Kilda, they're going at 179 this year, 204 up to half-time opposed to the Blues at 175. They've already racked up 53 tackles and a half, St Kilda. The AFL average is 61, Carlton only at 33. And you look at the scores from turnover, 37 out of their 44 points had come from Carlton turnovers. And Carlton, as we know, have been very strong of late in contested ball and ground ball. Saints have virtually broken even. They've also been strong in terms of scores from clearances, the Blues averaging 58 points from their last 6 matches. Today, St Kilda have restricted them to just the 7. Individually, Brad Crouch, 22 disposals, 6 clearances, 1 major. Butler, 11 disposals, 4 tackles, 2 goals. Higgins has been busy, 14 disposals, 1 goal, 1, but also throwing 5 score involvements. And for the Blues, 15 to Newman, 14 to Cripps along with 6 clearances. Fisher with 14, only 3 in that second term. And Charlie Curnow, who was busy in that first quarter with 6 disposals and 5 marks, was statless in that second quarter.
Well, that's a move that the Blues are going to have to think about at half-time. The Saints sacrificing an extra number to tag team and to double team Charlie Curnow. We're having a decent discussion as to whether or not it's better to play him out of the goal square or let him go up like he did in that first quarter and try and break through that when the St Kilda defenders allowed him to get the ball 50 to 70 out, and then they drop back in front of the next option, becoming a bit of an issue without a Harry Mackay there. But they need to figure out and structure up so they have someone, if it is Charlie up high, someone to kick the ball to, someone who's going to present out and engage that defender who's dropping off. But you've got to be happy with the Saints, Joey. Their pressure and effort, the thing that Ross Lyon demands at a minimum from every team that he coaches, they've brought that in this first half in absolute spades, and their scores and scoring from turnover and the speed of their ball movement's been very impressive.
Yeah, 37 of their 44 points from turnover. The question is, this has been the Blues' MO for the last 6 weeks. They've spoken about it publicly. It's been off the back of their pressure and their defence to be able to get themselves in a winning position. How do they respond at halftime? Because they've been ambushed, they've been jumped. St Kilda have been more physical and applied more pressure. How do the Blues find it in them when they've been challenged, which they haven't really been in the last 6 weeks, and get back into this?
I think they've just got to accept that St Kilda have come out and played a better half of football. Then you say, right, what can we control from this point on in the second half? And that then becomes their own pressure and effort. You can certainly find an intensity to match the opposition as a bare minimum, but if you can then go on and beat them in and around the footy with your own tackling pressure, they might have to sacrifice a forward coming up. Maybe they roll a Charlie Curnow up towards a stoppage, get him just going through at pace. There's options everywhere for the Blues to try and match it and get back into this, but the turnovers is the issue. Their halfbacks have to pay a lot more attention to the small forwards from St Kilda. Once that ball is 50-50 or almost better, the Saints forward, the reaction times of Butler, Higgins and the like, Gresham down there, they are head down hard towards goal, and there is nobody between them and the goals. They should have walked one in. It was only from an error and handball coming into that last passage of play that they didn't walk a goal in. The Blues need to figure it out. They need to win more contests. But we heard Ross Lyon pre-game. He said they've been really good at contests. We're going to try and force them to go wide and dirty, and that's what they've done so far. It's been a coaching masterclass.
Yeah, that's exactly the words I was going to use, the way they've planned for Charlie Curnow. And really, it does look like Charlie Curnow's the only real threat forward of the ball. I know Jack Martin can bob up, but he's just got to bring the ball to ground, maybe, Charlie, if he's going to be double-teamed, and bring his smalls into play, because if he keeps allowing St Kilda to mark the ball, they're able to set up their offence.
Or purely, and it probably sounds stupid because it's a bloke leading the Coleman, but almost if you're the ball carrier and you see him presenting up 70 out with 2 on him, have a team plan that you're going to kick it exactly where he isn't. So demand someone like a Paddy Cripps, who's a big body, kick it onto his head and know that Charlie's going to play a half a decoy and he can just head down, rip towards goal and be involved in that next facet.
Well, the Amy Clangers, who covers Clangers on and off the field. Amy does. We all love Razor Ray. We know he loves to chat, loves to communicate. He's very vocal. Well, this is how he called it in the first half.
Curnow can't mark it. Did a good job to bring it to ground level. That's out of bounds on the full just about. The umpire said no. Throw in.
Curnow starting to get frustrated ahead of the ball.
St Kilda ruck.
Tag, scrag, pulled off it every time. Doing a good job down there, the Saints.
No St Kilda ruck. No St Kilda ruck.
I don't think there's a St Kilda ruck.
Get ready to tackle.
There is St Kilda ruck.
I think Ray was trying to tell everyone there was no St Kilda ruck.
I think that was the message we got.
I think we got there, and Razor got his time in the sun, which he does love. But we do love Razor. He's a good man. He came to Ireland with us for international rules one year, and he's actually not a bad bloke, Stevie. You got on pretty well with him.
Stevie doesn't have a headset on, so he's nodding.
Shakes his head. Hey, we will get Stevie J. Before we get to that, Stu, man, around the grounds for Choice Hotels, whatever your reason for travelling, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at Choice Hotels. So go ahead, book it. Just a recap of the game in Tassie. It was a little scare for Melbourne for a while there, but in the end, they were too good.
It was, because North led by 33 points 5 minutes into the second quarter, but Melbourne defeated the Kangaroos by 32 points, 15-13, 103. To North Melbourne, 10-11-71. Just recapping, Harry Petty subbed off the ground with an injury.
Thank you, Chew Man. Of course, now it is time for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, to get a news update with our man, Matty Leighton.
Thanks very much. Collingwood rising star Nick Dacos faces a 6-week absence due to a knee fracture, dealing a huge blow to the Magpies' finals campaign. The development reshuffled the Brownlow odds, pushing Dacos down to third behind Marcus Bontempelli and Christian Petrarca. 5 young brothers and their father are feared to have died in a devastating house fire at Russell Island off the Brisbane coast. The boys, aged between 3 to 11, along with their 34-year-old father, remain missing, with the mother managing to escape the inferno. At this stage, the blaze is not being treated as suspicious. And no other forms of Indigenous recognition will be on the cards if the Voice to Parliament referendum fails. The Prime Minister confirming that today. Anthony Albanese telling the ABC it's a once-in-a-generation opportunity.
We need to do things better. This is a gracious offer that has been worked through over a long period of time.
Harris Scarf's 4-day Friends exclusive sale ends today. 50% off selected homewares in Manchester and 70% off electric blankets. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices.
Right now at Marvel Stadium, 12 degrees with the roof blocking the light showers over Melbourne. The Saints enjoying a 22-point lead over the Blues at half-time. Police reply quickly to texting drivers. A message from the TAC as Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. Get in, get out, get on with it at Mitre 10 Trade.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
For Ralph, the dog park's where he catches up with the locals.
Come on, Ralphie!
For his owner, Zara, it's where she catches up on the local real estate.
And it's all for how much?
Discovering that the value of her own home had increased over time, Zara switched to Macquarie Bank and refinanced to a competitive rate to reduce her home loan repayments.
Yeah, the whole process was a walk in the park.
So rethink your home loan and you could reduce your repayments. Another reason to say,
I bank with Macquarie.
Search Macquarie Home Loans or call your broker. Lending criteria, fees and T's and C's apply.
On the hunt for some cabinetry? Caboodle's range of cabinets, doors, benchtops and hardware are designed in Australia for Australian homes. That means they're quick and easy to install with no surprises on site. See the Caboodle range at Bunnings.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery.
Take me now, hot cool man. Take me now,
Sexyland.com.au.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles checked and locked prices of more than 20% lower than the best market prices is taking the market by storm. Here's proof of another range. Magnificent Verona marble look floor tiles, best market price $42.50. National Tiles checked and locked price $24.95. That's way more than 20% saving every day of the year. Only at National Tiles. So rush into National Tiles now and save.
The Haval H6 is a smart SUV, mainly because of its smart tech, safety and design, but also because of the driver, someone clever enough to demand more and get it. Haval H6. Smart move.
Sweat, snakes, sunburn, bumps, barks and bites. Yep, Charlie Fox mows lawns all day. This is his business.
Welcome to Snap.
But thanks to the fridge magnets and flyers he got designed and printed at his local Snap Print Solution Centre, Charlie's clients know him as Charles Fox, CEO, Lawns of Distinction. Because that is his brand. Whatever business you're in, visit snap.com.au and go from business to brand in a snap.
From the award-winning producers of Big Little Lies comes an adaptation of the best-selling Australian novel, The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, now streaming on Prime Video.
You lied to us. How could you?
A gripping mystery with secrets within secrets.
What the hell happened out there?
Asha Keddy, Leah Purcell, Alicia Debnam-Carey and Sigourney Weaver.
I promised I'd keep her safe.
The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, streaming now on Prime Video with new episodes Fridays. Start your 30-day free trial today.
People think anxiety is a sign of personal weakness.
Anxiety is something you can just snap out of.
Anxiety isn't a real medical illness.
If you think these statements are true, think again. Over 85% of Australians believe that anxiety is not a sign of personal weakness, is not something you can just snap out of, and is a real medical condition. What you're thinking isn't what they're thinking. Know when anxiety's talking. Learn more at beyondblue.org.au.
Shut up! The foot is on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business by designing your lighting and electrical plans for free. Beacon Trade. Let's make light work.
It's half time here at Marvel Stadium. The Saints led by 3 quarter time. It's now 22 points at half time. And the Blues, they've got some work to do in the second half. They've got the best in the business in the back of the box. You've got Steve Johnson, Dale Thomas, Joey Montagna calling. And now just give us some stats, just give us some high-level ones. I know you've already done it, but just a couple more.
No worries at all. Brad Crouch, 22 disposals, 6 clearances, throwing 6 tackles and a major. Mason Woods had 16, but he's going at 31% by foot. Clark was 16, but the small forwards for the Saints, Butler, 11 disposals and 2 majors, and Higgins, he's also been busy with 14 and a goal and 5 score involvements, and for the Blues, 15 to Newman, and Wiedering 10 disposals, 6 marks, 5 of those are intercept.
Nice work, Ash. As commentators, we need to remain impartial. Robbo, down there on the boundary, I believe that you blew up when that holding the ball decision wasn't paid.
Yeah, it got hold of me, Brownie, I must admit. Incorrect disposal or hold 40-metre run down and it's dropping the ball, and you just got to get it right if you're the umpire. We have a very unbiased commentary here at Triple M, so that's what it was. That's all it is. St Kilda out early too, by the way, just getting ready for this second half. The first 10 minutes is going to be really important. I reckon the side that actually gets the first 2 or 3 goals early now can decide the game.
Robbo for Bob Jane team, Marta. Worry about Barry Denner when he records Essendon games too. But Choice Hotels around the grounds.
Fremantle 1 straight 6, leading Brisbane 0. 18 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Who's that?
Got a cough back for a reason, too.
Is it okay?
I just gave you a bottle of water as well.
No, I don't know. Just something went down the wrong hole. For Red Zed.
Okay, it is a Red Zed lending.
Thanks, Daisy.
Beautiful day over there
Daisy
in Perth.
did a great job. Beacon Trade did a part of your business. Join Beacon Trade to get exclusive trade benefits like free access to lighting design services for you and your clients. What a way to add value to your business. Beacon Trade. Let's make light work.
Stevie, you like Robbo's special comments there?
Well, if Carlton kick the first 3 or 4, they'll be back in it, Robbo. But no, Carlton have got to be a little bit smarter with the footy in hand. I know Daisy touched on it about what they do in regards to Curnow, whether they play him back deep or play him up a little bit higher. But it has been they've been bombing away, and he's been the number 1 target, and that's why it's been so easy for Wilkie to sort of lock down his body and then Battle come over the top, come off his man and get those spoils in. So it's taken away from his game a little bit. They need to look off the line a little bit more and take those risks. But the opposing, I guess, argument would be that St Kilda have been so good at scoring off turnover. So if Carlton do try to pull the trigger, they've got to switch on defensively a little bit quicker and get reorganised, because St Kilda's going back through them and scoring and getting out the back. Their smalls are looking extremely dangerous.
If I was looking at this game, I'd say that Ross Lyon has taken the points quite comfortably in the first half in the coach's box.
Yeah, he has for the first part of this game, and it's been on the back of the pressure and forcing those turnovers. But that's not to say that the game's out of the way of Carlton. They've just got to be a little bit smarter with the footy, get back to winning the contest, which they have throughout the game, but trying to get those scores from stoppage, which has been a big area over the last month from them, but equally trying to score off turnover themselves.
Sure, we know there's plenty riding on this game. What's the live ladder look like currently standing with St Kilda leading by 22 points?
Yeah, St Kilda currently 5th on the live ladder, 48 points with their current lead. And we've got the Blues, Joey, sitting 9th with 42 outside on percentage. Their percentage 114.5 at the moment. Geelong on 42 points, sitting 819.2.
Both subs still not used. Liam Stocker for St Kilda, the former Blue. Ed Curnow waiting to come on and have an impact for Carlton at some stage. But we're getting ready for a big second half. Of course, the Macca's cheesy range have a post-game stretch. There's going to be a beauty, but for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. And it's Pitnet who just throws it on the boot. Squeezes one to centre half forward. Motlop and Webster. Webster did well not to give away a free kick. Mason Wood, who had some good moments and some bad moments in the first half, gets the handball, and the Saints will flick it around. Crouch to Steele along the boundary line. Overshot the kick over the head of Sharman. Happened a lot early in the game too. And then Kemp overshot the kick. Sometimes can happen under the roof at Marvel. The ball just travels a little bit further. Akers, he also overshoots the kick for Cunningham. Then he goes back and gets it. 55 out, coughs it up. Jack Steele. Crouch having a big game. He's had a big month, Brad Crouch.
15.
Wood. Squeeze a little kick. Kamanides going to turn it over. Zach Fisher playing at half back today. Gets another disposal. And Jack Steele going to get his third or fourth touch in the first minute. Again at half back. And this time they'll reload with a bit more patience. And again, he'll wax with Brad Crouch.
Wasting the footy early, the Blues. Short ball, and he finds Mason Wood. Getting good numbers, Ash.
Disposal number 19, 36% by foot.
It's a nice first half, but he'd love to use it a bit better. The half forward, front of that pack was Owens. He couldn't mark it. Fisher at the ground level. Chips the football, and he finds Newman. Newman wants to go into the middle of the ground. This is an attacking kick and a nice one as well. He's got Fogarty, who chips the football but turns it over again. Wangan and Miller got his hand to it. Crouch picked it up. Handball back to Miller. Now Mason Wood on the right foot. That's a high up and under ball. Nearly hit the roof to half forward. Floating in was Sharman. Couldn't take the mark. Chincotta was good. And now the Blues, time and time again, they've kicked it back to them. Do they hit a target this occasion? They do. To the Koning on centre wing.
It looks like the Blues have come out with a focus to go short, and they've missed a few of them early. So they've probably seen what we've seen, boys. They don't necessarily want to bomb it to Charlie Curnow, although they're forced to on this occasion. And again, Wilkie was able to just wrap him up. Battle came across. Curnow almost got a possession away. And then St Kilda pile in. Get the ball up, 55 out.
I know I've said it a couple of times now, but I am really concerned for Carlton. If they keep allowing Jack Higgins to run his own race, he could be the difference in this quarter. Kick a couple of goals and really set this game alight.
Fripps tried to get a clearance but didn't get much on it. And then Sinclair pushed off his kick. Good chase from Pitnet. And it'll stay inside forward 50 for the Blues. Kicking to the left of the broadcast. Trailing by 22 points. Throw in. Marshall and Pitnet wrap each other up. Mitch Owens has played a lot as an on-baller today. Squeezes a kick out. Fogarty lost possession. Hewitt taking in a tackle. Saints laid 53 tackles in that first half. Spills to the Koning. Throws it on the boot. It might float all the way through from 40. Something out of nothing. Blues get the opener of the second half. And they go to 4-4-28. St Kilda 7-2-44. That's on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business by designing your lighting and electrical plans, all for free. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
Well, they'll certainly take it, the Blues. Struggling to score in that second turn there. De Koning, he was on the bench waiting for Pitnet to come off a lot in that first half, but they've gone with the starting lineup of De Koning out of the goal square, Charlie Curnow 5 to 10 metres ahead of him, and Pitnet in the ruck. So all three big men are on the ground at once. De Koning, not your traditional forward, but I guess when you're trying to replace a Harry Mackay with that, I guess the way that you've moved the ball for the better part of the season, he can play a role, and he certainly did that then.
Carlton get the all-important first goal of the second half, and they're going to try and get out of the middle again through Cripps, whose handball to Wakers was holding his width was good. Doherty, another handball, and he finds Fisher, chips the football up. The lead from Motlop is good. Still 2 kicks from home. Wants to move it quickly. Curnow leads to the pocket. Motlop goes there now, having to double back as Curnow. Saints got the numbers there. Free kick picked out.
Battle.
They're going to go to battle. Carlton had the football, are away through Cunningham. And Battle receives it back. Sinclair runs around the back, gets a cheapie. They're the best ones, though.
Stand, please.
And now they go to Crouch. Crouch deep in his back pocket. There's another short one.
Outside 5.
To Jimmy. Now to Webster. Short ball, and he finds Zane Cordy, premiership player at the Bulldogs.
Looks like the Blues going a lot more one-on-one around the ground rather than taking his own defence.
Cordy releases the footy, looking for a target, can't find one. At ground level, Filippo was happy to get the ball out of bounds. Blues calling for out of bounds on the full. Do they get it? No. Umpires are going to have a chat about it. They come together. They're convinced through Newman that it was out of bounds on the full. See the Harvey Norman replay. Comes off the boot of Owens. It's like a whole big convention out there of umpires at the moment. It's taking a long time. And they've found out it was a free kick out of bounds on the full. Saints have got the raw end of the stick of the umpiring today. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Ash.
10 minutes into the first quarter, Dockers 1-1-7, leading Brisbane yet to score.
So they go inside forward 50, the Blues. At ground level, picked up by Marshall. Tumbles it back out from where it came. King with a spinning pirouette move was good. Burns' handball wasn't great. Gave it back to Kemp, and Kemp wants it out of bounds. The boundary throw in.
Rucks, Rowan.
16-point lead to St Kilda, early stages, third term. Pitnet gets two hands towards the footy. They've started well this quarter, Carlton. Much more intensity about them. They're matching the Saints for pressure. Collins. And then under pressure, Shank the kick out of bounds on the full. Free kick going to Ryan Burns. Some ball winners too for both teams.
Brad Crouch, 27 disposals, 6 clearances and a major. Fisher and Newman, 18. But Blues time in the front half this quarter, 83%, Joey.
And it's been living there at the moment as Owens pushing his claim for a rising start. Takes the mark, goes towards Marshall. This time takes the mark in front of Pitnet. He's threatened to do that a lot this game. Gave the handball off to Steele, who goes into the pocket. King's in the box seats. Takes the mark, running back with the flight. Good hands. He'll go back to kick his second goal. 30 metres out. Tough angle. And he'll work out whether he goes for the snap or the J-curve.
I think he's a drop punt.
Thing.
Oh, yeah, it is too. A drop punt or a snap.
Drop punt operation this will be. That's what you need from Owens, though. That's how you relieve the ball living in one end of the ground, a big contested mark.
He's backing himself in for a drop punt. 5 metres in from the boundary. Only 30 metres out. Deliberate approach. Crowd will tell the story. Oh, they're up and about. King's got his second. And their first entry inside 50 for the quarter results in a goal. 8-2, good kicking. They're on 50. Carlton 4-4-28. Early stages, third term.
So obviously looking at Josh Battle. He wants to come up third.
Well, the 3 big men involved on the way through. There was a nice mark by Owens, who plays a lot taller than his actual represented here on the stat sheet. 191 kegs. Plays a lot bigger than that, Stevie. Good clunk. But he then rolls on to Marshall, had a mismatch on Fisher, and then good enough to give an overlap handball, keep some speed on the ball. Good work rate from King getting back towards goal. We see it here on the Harvey Norman. Love the decision of Marshall, who did make it, was on the ground, got up quickly, gave a handball, and a really smart pulled kick to the pocket. But that is a sublime finish as well. Saints on fire.
So it's a handy 22-point lead to the Saints. A goal apiece in this third term. Back in the middle for McDonald's Room Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Number 1 on a Sunday. We'll have a ball up. Bradley Hill just goes past, goes to the back of the contest, has the sweep up. Not a bad man to get it to. He can run and carry off there, but it's the sweep up of Fisher for the Blues. They went one way and Bradley Hill went the other, but Fisher wins this one to Cottrell. Cottrell marks it just outside 50. He's a big kick of the footy, Cottrell. He's very best to get it from there, but he's not going to do that. He goes backwards to Newman, right on the point of the square. Newman leads, being offered. Good kick as Cottrell just ducked into the 50-metre line and marked the ball about 40 out. And that was smart play.
Very nice kick there by Newman to spot that one back. Normally when you work the arc, you're looking to go to the other side, pocket inside 50, but he just noticed that the St Kilda defenders had drifted across to cover the dangerous space on the open side. He ducked into the hole and he pulled the kick beautifully.
Like you said about Butler earlier on, I like him on the run. Cottrell, allowed to kick from 50. 45-degree angle, right on the logo. Kick on the way. Sliding across the face and through for a rush behind. 4-5-29 Carlton, 8-2-50 St Kilda Beacon Trade scoreboard.
It was good coaching, good play, Stevie, because that player that dropped off Cottrell was Battle, who was trying to get to Charlie Curnow to double team him. So Cottrell held his width, had the shot at goal, and St Kilda kick it long and wide, and it gets out spoiled out of bounds.
Rucks, please.
Half forward for the Blues.
Rowan, thank you.
I feel like the Saints are just happy to do this, Joey. We've seen it a few times, leaving their D50. They're happy to just to get the territory, get it up to neutral area, and then back themselves in and around the contest.
St Kilda trying to get the double team. Carlton are pushing men forward to equalise. They've got 7 men inside their forward 50, the Blues, so that's been the adjustment. Saints are trying to work out what to do. They can't get a double team.
That's their winger dropping back to support. As you said, when that ball goes into Curnow, their winger gets back and supports that. So they've just sort of sent their winger forward side of the contest. Normally that'd be lateral.
And if they get out here, the Blues, they've got one-on-ones. Dow tried to shovel it out. Hewitt, he tried to flick it out. Well done, Mason Wood. Kept it locked in and another boundary throw in.
It does mean that the Blues have got one-on-ones ahead of the ball, but also that means that St Kilda now, their half-forward's gone up to replace that wing spot. They've got 4 forwards, so a whole heap of space. Sharman, Caminiti down there, and also the big king man. Lots of room and lots of open space, so they can't chain it out.
Yeah, good tactical battle. St Kilda will be happy to have 7 pairs inside Carlton's forward 50. Here is the one-on-one. Well done, Wilkie. Got the fist to it on Curnow. And the ball goes out of bounds again.
No, it's forward line I like the look of better. The Saints have got
absolutely. You'd be knocking the space
behind them.
Yeah.
Hold the
Not sure sacrificing a number there is what you want to do.
They had to do something though. And this is the method they're going with. Does it pay off?
Holding, Patrick Cripps.
Free kick to Patrick Cripps against Steele. Still can't believe it. He thought it was his free kick as well. Cripps. He's got Curnow. He's got DeConing down there. Sets it up to the top of the square. Curnow has a run and jump at it, but in the front of the pack is Rowan Marshall.
Look at the numbers he kicked into there.
Wow. Rowan Marshall, quick kick away. Not a great one. Cottrell, an opportunity. Looks for Owies. Owies needs his very best. Needs the good bounce, and it bounces over the head of a couple. Straight back to the Saints and Windhager. Handball. Wood. Another one. Marshall run down. That'll be holding the ball. Umpire said no. Completely missed the football. Motlop. Tackled. Ball to the ground. St Kilda left to find another day. Now DeConing comes in. That was smothered off the boot. Steele. This game's gone up a notch. Now the handball out the Crouch. Fists it. An underground ball, and they find Sharman on centre wing.
And they've got space forward of the ball, and Gresham can find space. It's a good kick from Sharman. Gresham will stay just in. King's at the top of the square. It's going to go in his direction. Well done, Newman. Right in front of him with courage. Just didn't have enough height on the kick. And the Blues had to get back, and they were desperate. And now they will look to counter-punch. Jack Barton held up by Butler. Blues fans wanting 50.
Just had to think his way through that, Gresham. He wanted to get it longer than he could, but he had the penetration for, so height was then the issue that he had to face. Should just booted it into the sky, which would have allowed King to come to the football and use his height against Newman.
Play on.
Carlton now forced to just kick laterally, build it up. It's with Kemp.
Stand.
Broadcast side half-back. St Kilda continuing to double team Charlie Curnow, so he has to try and go towards DeConing, but the kick was out on the full.
Over the line, mate. Go over the line.
Free kick to Mason Wood.
Never understood how you kick the ball out the full in general play. I can understand when you're inside forward 50 having a quick snap, but just in general play around the wings, I've got no idea how any play ever kicks it out of bounds on the
Not everyone kicked the footy like you, Nathan. Oh, Sharman! Big fly. Couldn't take the mark. Hunter Clark stripped. Sard wins the footy. Wants to go short, but again, they've missed the target, the Blues. It hasn't worked for them so far, although Hill's kick into the corridor was dangerous. Turnover, counter-attack. Akers, Motlop through the centre circle. Charlie Curnow offers one lead, then a second. Motlop pins his back and goes alone from outside 50. A goal of the day. Blues get their second of the quarter, and they get back within 15 points. Well done, young Jesse Motlop. 5-5-35. The Blues 8-2-50. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, beautiful goal, you called it. He just took it on. Curnow was presenting ahead of the football. He ducked back at him, but then he just had the confidence to back himself in, take those couple of bounces and say, no, forget about the key forward that's leading the Coleman medal. I'll do it myself. And that was just a brilliant finish on the run from 50 metres out. That might be the igniting move that they needed, the igniting goal. Terrific stuff there by Motlop.
Not sure the kick from Hill was what the backmen were after in that situation. Had it on the wing, plugged it to Doherty inside the centre square.
Inside 50s this quarter, 9-2 Carlton's way in the clearances, 7-zip Carlton's way.
Love the dare of Motlop. He torched about 7 of them, but finished back in the middle. Is that what fires the Blues up? They go out of the middle again. Looking for Martin. Can't mark it. Ball at ground level. Motlop again. He's already kicked 2. Handball out. Martin couldn't take it with him. Motlop helped out the football. Quick kick out of the pack by the Saints. It's a bouncing ball. De Koning, the first one there. Already kicked it all this quarter. Can he go back to back from 50? De Koning. Miss. The Blues peppering back to 14 points. 50 plays, 36. Choice hotels around the grounds.
Fremantle leading Brisbane by 6 points deep into the first quarter.
Outside 5.
Saints under pressure this quarter. They're holding up pretty well, but they don't want to be living in their defensive half. They still lead by 14 points. It was a 3-point lead at quarter time, 22-point lead at half time.
Play on!
Then Hunter Clark will go long to a big pack of players on the wing. Philippo's in that contest. He got the mark paid. Second bite. Newman waiting about 50 metres down the line. So he tries to pull the kick slightly inboard, but Wiedering's in the box seat. Couldn't take the mark. Sharman looks like he's gone to Wiedering now to limit his influence. Newman, handball to Chincotta. Here they get the run again from behind. Marchbank. Here's Motlop, a long way from home again. Couldn't handle the Butler pressure. Turnover. Brad Hill. Windhager. 2 kicks from home. Goes out wide towards Mitch Owens in a one-on-one with Akers. Akers dropped the mark. Owens then is tackled as he fell down. It'll be a ball up. Just keep an eye on for us, boys. Sharman, who did the job on Sicily last week, may be playing a defensive forward role on Jacob Wiedering.
Ball up, 55 from the Saints goal. Blues have lifted. Cripps in the pack. Dow was there as well. Cripps tried to bullock his way through, then went without the football. De Koning has lifted himself, and then he chases this football and sockets it out of midair to Curnow on centre wing. It's all turning up good for the Blues at the moment. Curnow, the only man there is Owies. He goes for him. It's a one-on-one. Look at little Owies. He marked it. The kick from Curnow was brilliant. Been out of the game for pretty much a quarter and a half, Curnow, but has an impact there.
Well, when he seen Curnow take that mark on the wing, he just bolted forward knowing that Curnow's got a 65-metre pass in him. And he rolled, as we've talked about. We wanted him to be smarter with the ball in hand, but on that occasion he seen the space over the back and he just backed himself to hit that pass inside 50. It was brilliant.
First touch since quarter time. Tom Papley's the number 1 celebrator in the comp. This guy is a close number 2. 35 out directly in front. Have a look at him. He pumps the chest. He pumps the crowd. The Blues are back in it. 50 plays 42.
It's the second time we've seen it this afternoon. Charlie Curnow with the penetration on his kick. I love the fact that he's backing himself and putting it to dangerous spaces. Always, you're right, Stevie. Great connection there. He knows exactly what Charlie loves to do. So as soon as he realised it was a mark, he was off and didn't run across his leg, just ran to where he could pull it with his leg, keep it inside, directly in front. Charlie Curnow, been quiet, but what he has done has been brilliant. Now back over to the Saints.
And those clearances 9-0 Carlton's way. 13 out of their 20 points in this quarter have been scored from stoppage in the territory battle. 12-3 are the inside 50s in favour of Carlton.
Over to Ross Lyon in the St Kilda coach's box now. How do they respond? Because the Blues have got all the momentum in this third quarter. Back to within 8 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Pitnet favoured by the bounce. Cripps tries to extract it. Marshall just gets a little toe poke towards half forward. Higgins in front. Hill taps it into the space of Butler, who was run down from behind. Ollie Hollins. I like the kid a lot. Holding the ball, advantage paid. Zach Fisher towards Jack Martin. Strong hands, good defence. Webster got it to ground. Mason Wood 2v2. Sinclair, Gresham can always duck out in space. Has it, has Higgins short, and he has Sharman long. He went the wrong option again, Gresham, and it's turned over. He had Sharman out the back, and now the Blues will flick it around by hand. Jack Martin, Marchbank on the wing to Curnow in front of Wilkie. Well done, Wilkie. Quick kick though, only as far as Hewitt. Zach Fisher sweeps the handball wide to Akers, who kicks on his left boot. He can't kick on his left.
That's for balance, but he's only for balance.
Put that back in the kit bag, Akers. Turnover. It's going to be marked by Windhager at halfback. Well, Ace Court it is, sorry.
Looking for Filippo. Wood elevates himself as well. Can't mark it. Filippo at ground level stood up and got the ball, but umpire balls it up.
That was horrible from Akers.
That club's not in the golf bag, is it, Daisy?
That's not it. That just came off 5 different ways. Yeah.
Umpire balls it up, close to the boundary line. Akers, and it's out of bounds. Umpire said no, still in. Crouch picked it up, went towards half forward. Newman went back there. Kemp, good kick, opens up the ground. Found Hollins, centre half back. Has a bounce, he's got Marchbank in the middle of the ground. Looks for him now. Marchbank can take it and go. Goes back over the mark. Didn't realise there was a player so close towards half forward. Well done by Cunningham. Can he go back and win it again? He can't. Webster's hands were cool. Got it out towards Sinclair. Sinclair taps it forward. Webster again. Now it's the Saints' turn to run and carry. Hill, wide. They've got players out everywhere. The 2-on-1. Can they get it inside forward? 50 to lead. It's a poor kick. It's a really poor kick. And Akers now at half-back.
Now the Saints blowing some chances inside 50.
Anywhere but there was the option. Had 3 players, only 1 Carlton defender who was trying to just do as best he could and got laced out.
Newman goes to a 1-on-1. Hollins and Sharman. Well done, Sharman. Inboard to Webster. Gresham again's in space. Gee, he can get out the back, Jade Gresham. 3rd or 4th time this quarter, but well done, Nick Newman. Although free kick going to be paid. High contact. You've been all over it, Stevie J, since the first quarter. These small forwards just ducking out.
Yeah, Carlton's been lucky here on a few occasions. It's just the skill errors of St Kilda. If they can sharpen that up, I'll tell you what, they'll put a few goals on quickly.
They've only kicked the 1 goal this quarter. Blues have dominated the term. They switch the ball out to this broadcast side. Wilkie short to Wood. 2 kicks from home.
Outside 5.
Owens offers a lead. Marshall points to the pocket. Sharman and Filippo want it deep. Kick goes in that direction. Butler, perfect front and square. And then a kick off the ground from Brad Crouch, who out of bounds on the full. Right next to the right-hand point pocket, point post. It's going to be Zach Fisher, who will bring it back in for the Blues. Trailing by 8 points, 5 minutes to go in the 3rd term. Been a good quarter by Carlton.
That's a good kick by Fisher too, and he finds Hewitt on the 50.
I like him at half-back. He's been really good, Fisher, providing something different and happy to take the game on by foot as well.
Has been good. A transfer play. Sharman couldn't get there quick enough. Kemp. He shut him down, but good enough to get the ball to the outer side. Newman
outside 5.
Takes the mark. Marchbank works for him. And he honours that lead now. Marchbank still at half-back.
Outside 5.
You reckon the crowd is, Ash?
I reckon early 40s, about 42,000.
Choice Hotels around the grounds.
Fremantle by 4 points over Brisbane, nearing quarter time.
Started at 35 with the crowd cheer, then you went up to the high 30s, then low 40s.
Through the 4 goals to Carlton in this term. Half back to half forward. Dropped out there by Battle. Something you should have taken. Ball flipped out the back of that pack. Cunningham was there. Webster. He picked it up and the ball is out of bounds. So a scrappy bit of play. Ross Lyon on the phone. Boris Enright sitting next to him, just the hands through the hair. Now over the face, wondering what to do. What's the next move? 8-point lead to the Saints.
Here they go again. Marshall and Pitnet continue their battle. Been a good one. Steele hit the contest. Couldn't take possession. Hill caught holding the ball. Free kick to the Blues. Another clearance. Clearance numbers this quarter. Ash.
This will be 10-2 Carlton's way.
Looks like Ross Lyon has sent Hill right around to play the forward side of the stoppage on Zach Fisher, who is going 1-on-1. Or +1 v +1, I should say, against Bradley Hill.
8, 9, 10 pairs inside the Blues forward 50. It's going to be hard to find a kick, but Newman did a really good job. Pulled it into the pocket. About 45 metres out, marked by Hewitt. It's going to be a tough kick for him from there.
Yeah, I don't reckon he's got the distance from here, Joey, so it's got to be a late pull kick, put the opposition to sleep, pretend you're having the shot, and right at the last second, just put it in front of someone.
And that kick never really works, but we'll see what he does. He does exactly what Stevie J wanted. Can it work on this occasion? De Koning's probably the right man to fly. It stays at the back for Curnow. Couldn't quite. Webster slaps it through, and he caught one in the face for his troubles. Carlton just chipping away at this lead, 6-7-43. Carlton 8-2-50. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, 3 minutes 20 left in the third quarter.
Curnow goalless, Ash.
You kick.
And scoreless as well. Hasn't been held goalless since round 1, 2022, last season.
Goal assists are worth 2 though, Dave. So he's got 4.
Stevie J with the Triple M Super Special comments. As Mason Wood hoiks one towards the wing. Owens couldn't mark it. Fisted away. Falling over was Dow. Opportunity for Jimmy Webster. Tough as nails. Back to Wood. Sharp ball towards half forward. Taken out of the pack, but quick give found Sharman. Sharman inside forward 50. Higgins fisted away by him. And the ball out of bounds of a boundary throw in. Well done by Newman. Let's head down to the boundary, Robbo.
Yeah, there's a sub, Brownie. Stocker, my man, Liam Stocker on and Philippo off. So they've made the switch, St Kilda.
So that might mean Mitch Owens spends more time forward in this quarter and a half.
Tactical sub we're going, Joey?
I reckon it would be. Yeah. Philippo's numbers, Two-man.
Philippo, 8 disposals, 3 marks, 1 goal.
Stocker going straight to half-back.
So throwing the ball up, I should say, in the forward pocket for St Kilda. Chincotta just squeezes the kick outside the defensive 50. Wanganeen Miller, he's been quiet today, has he? He's been last month been very good.
Yeah,
haven't bought him too often today.
Spot on, 11 disposals. Last month averaging 27 touches.
2 minutes 20 left on the clock. Carlton have kicked 3 goals to 1. To get it back within 7. Pitnet grabs it out of the ruck, kicks towards the wing. Webster, Jack Martin being a good battle. Jack Martin wins out again. Cunningham got the handball to Dow, ducked under the tackle. Back to Cunningham, tries to squeeze the ball into the corridor only as far as Wanganeen Miller. As Mason Wood peeling for him, but Cripps comes off the bench to close that one down. So instead he creates a handball to Stocker, gets it back, Wanganeen Miller, and then sees Gresham again in space. And he takes the mark 40 metres out. What's he going to do on this occasion?
Well, distance could be a problem here for Gresham.
Patrick, 1 more metre back, please.
You would like to think he can kick the ball 50 metres.
Yes.
He's got the ability to wheel out boundary side. There's no one to his right. He's going to kick it right on the Telstra logo. Instead, he pretends to kick it, goes into the pocket to King, who's taken the mark low down. It might have been a half volley. We'll have to have a look. But it was a set play, and Max King down low is taking the mark 20 metres out. What's the call, boys?
It's probably a mark. Only just. Hard to tell. Benefit of the doubt. But that was exactly what I was calling on George Hewitt to do at the other end.
They clear out of the space. He's kicked 2. Slight angle. 25 metres out. And he's feeling the pressure. 8-3-51. It was a tough kick and spot that. Always tricky. Carlton 6-7-43. 8-point lead inside the final minute.
7 of the last 8 inside 50s have gone to the Saints in this one. So dominating the field position. Just need to put some scoreboard pressure back on the Blues. Getting their looks. Newman's the one that's been on Gresham. Newman coming across, getting a stackle of football himself. Third man in. But needs to defend at some stage.
Sard, a long kick out. Cunningham, looked like a mark to me. Umpire said play on. Here's Stocker with the tats on his legs. Worked his way through. Owens did, just bullocked his way through. Back inside forward 50. The Blues have got the numbers. Doherty just glided in from the side to the mark. So 43 plays 51. 8-point lead to the Saints. Late moments, third term. Doherty to centre wing. Pitnet works his way to the front. Fisted away. Steele had his kick smothered. Fogarty went through. Couldn't take the football. Pitnet was good. Quick kick by Fogarty. Bouncing ball, Curnow. It bounced away from him. Wanganeen Miller up. Hands it off to Wilkie. Back to Wanganeen Miller up. A better turn from the Blues. They kicked 3 of the 4 goals. And they're within striking distance. An 8-point lead to the Saints. 8-3-51. Carlton 6-7-43. Quick lunch. Choice Hotels around the grounds.
Quarter time, Freo 2-2-14, leading Brisbane by 4 points, 1-4-10.
Both games are close. This one's going to be a ripper. Go down to the wire in the last quarter at Marvel Stadium. Carlton up against the Saints. McDonald Rim Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business by designing your lighting and electrical plans for free. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Macca's Cheesy Range. Get a huge hit of cheese.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M rocks football.
The AFL Coaches Association leaderboard, which is one of the best prizes in footy, this one. Above the Brownlow, in my opinion.
Above the Brownlow?
Yeah.
Didn't Max Vaughan say that as well?
Yeah, because he's won one.
All right, I'm on it too. I'm on it too now.
Gives Ruckman a chance to win it.
I didn't know that. I'm out.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6 on Triple M. Get the podcast now from the Listener app.
Campbell Brown here with Andrew Shea, CEO of Builders Academy. Andrew, Builders Academy have won multiple training awards recently. Tell me, what's the secret?
Thanks, Brownie. We're really proud to have added over 8,000 graduates. We offer online, classroom-based and worksite training, and most of our students are able to study with subsidies from the Victorian Government. We're really proud of our industry-leading completion rates and the outcomes we help our students achieve to become registered building legends.
Thanks, Andrew. Get in touch with Builders Academy on 1300 Legend.
RTO 21583.
Hello.
Hello, sweetheart.
Hey, Nana, how are you?
I'm okay. Just wanted to find out what you've been up to.
Well, I'm having an erection.
Pardon?
An erection, Nana. Going up beautifully.
I'll call back later.
If you need scaffolding, Precision Scaffolding will come to your worksite and put up a quality erection that meets all building regulations and safety standards. They do it on budget, fully insured, and it's guaranteed on time or it's free. T's and C's apply. PrecisionScaffolding.com.au.
As part of Victoria's Big Build, we're removing 110 dangerous and congested level crossings, with 72 already gone. Creating better connections and making your journey safer and easier. As we bring the pieces together, buses replace trains on sections of the Belgrave and Lilydale lines from the 10th to the 15th of August. Avoid delays and check before you travel at bigbuild.vic.gov.au. Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Investing in Australia's largest fleet of electric delivery vehicles?
That's the goods.
Powering our network with 100% renewable electricity by 2025.
That's the goods.
Making our packaging more sustainable by using recycled materials.
That's the goods.
Australia Post is delivering the goods by putting environmental sustainability at the heart of our business, targeting net zero by 2050. It's another way we're delivering for Australia at Australia Post.
Summer starts now. As we get closer to the AFL and NRL finals, the Big Bash is about to heat up. Set to feature big rivalries, blockbuster entertainment, and the world's best players. Membership is the only way to save on tickets and get closer to your favourite team. Are you with the Renegades or the Stars family? Search BBL membership to choose your club.
What key is tonight going to be played in? Well, that's entirely up to you and your spirit. Over here at Wild Turkey, we're opting for something that rings true and can reverberate for ages. A little 101. Wild Turkey 101 has been pleasing crowds for decades with its iconic, rich flavor. Crafted with generations of know-how and the finest ingredients. Over 18s only. Drink responsibly. Wild Turkey. Trust your spirit.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Three-quarter time, Marvel Stadium sets up for a cracking finish to this one. It's the Blues trailing St Kilda by 8 points. St Kilda 8-3-51. Carlton 6-7-43, but they're able to kick 3 goals to 1 in that third term to get them back within the manageable 8 points, and it's a game on Two-Man. What happened in that third term to get the Blues back into the contest?
Yeah, Blues dominated clearances, Joey, 12-2 in that third quarter. They scored 2-2-14 from stoppage. St Kilda 0, and Newman 12 touches in that quarter, 27 for the game. number 1 ranked player on the ground.
Let's get down to Robbo for Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, there was a blood rule just before three-quarter time. Brody Kemp just opened his forehead a little bit, so that was a nice split, so they fixed him up. Noticed that Ed Curnow, too, was warming up without the tracksuit on. I reckon they've got plans to bring him on straight away. Don't forget that Stocker has been the sub for St Kilda. He's into the game.
Bob Jane teammates have great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. Boys, how you seen this one?
Yeah, well, Carlton got back into the game just through their contest work, their clearances. They were able to get the ball forward and score from a couple of those occasions, and they brought the heat around the footy a little bit more that third quarter, which got them back into the game. St Kilda had their opportunities when they had the footy in hand, but they just missed with a bit of skill execution, which cost them because they had players out ahead of the ball so many times, but just weren't able to get the ball to their advantage.
Winner will be 5th on the ladder tonight. If the Blues can't win, they'll stay outside the 8. St Kilda will drop down to 6th or 7th, I think, Two-Man.
St Kilda will drop down to 7th, Joey.
That's right.
Yep.
All sets up for a cracking 4th term. Here's Nathan Brown to get us underway.
Max King on the bench down there, Robbo.
It's confusion down here. He's gobsmacked starting on the bench, Max King. You'd have him on the ground, wouldn't you?
Absolutely would. The Blues will get the first entry with Fisher. It's a high ball. Nobody gets there on the full. It's a bouncing one. Cracking forward was Wilkie. Handball out to Stocker. Battle under pressure. Handball was good to Hill. Hill besieged by Carlton small men. And they wrap him up and a ball up just inside 50.
Rowan, Carlton ruck. Tom.
So Ray organising the ruck as he's done so well today. Bradley Hill smothered off the boot. DeConing at a big third quarter. Fisher danced a little bit. Then with the left foot inside forward 50. Curnow one bite, couldn't mark it. Opportunity for Motlop. Owies, quick handball. Out of the pack. The banana. That's a big goal for the Blues. Kick by Cunningham. And they get the all-important first one. And it's a 2-point margin. 51 plays 49.
Brilliant finish, Joey, Daisy. That quick handball. The ball got to ground in their front 50 and a quick handball out there. He had about half a second to lay that across his boot with the right foot banana, as you called it, Nath, and he just hit it sweetly. That's the lift they need here to get them back in this game. 2 points to margin now. This game could go either way.
Really well done by Charlie Curnow on the Harvey Norman replay. Against 2 of them like he has all day, but he brought it to the front. A predictable position, front and centre. And from there they got to work the Blues. That was a nice finish.
Game on now. They've made all the running in the second half, the Blues. McDonald's a ream hot water. Paddy Dow bursts out in the centre circle. Goes towards Curnow. Well done battle. Had to get back with courage. Got in the way. Carlton's forward pressure's lifted. Wanganeen Miller up. High ball into the middle of Marvel. Who wants to get under that? Sharman attacked it hard. Couldn't quite get the bounce though. Akers, Cripps, twists and turns, and then throws it on the left boot. DeConey's going to come. Battle again, getting in the way. Been important. Stocker dives on the ball. Got to be careful. Ball up. So Carlton pressing again. 35 metres out from their goal. Marshall and DeConing. Charlie Curnow's in the goal square with 2 Saints on him. DeConing flicks it out to Cottrell. Sard on the wrong side for him. Kicks on his right boot. High ball. Motlop's got Saints everywhere, and the fist from Mason Wood rushed through from behind. Back to a point. 51-50. Of course, Titanium Caravan scoreboard this 4th quarter. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Stock of the former Blue. Short ball finds Wanganeen Miller up. Ever since we chatted about how quiet he's been, Ash, he's had a fair bit of the football since then.
He has. He's up to disposal number 16.
Play on.
There's about 6 touches in the last 5 minutes of football. Short ball, and he finds Stocker getting the boos from the Blues crowd.
He got ballistic.
Yeah, he got sacked.
He kicks it to centre wing. Big fly out the back, but not really getting anywhere near it with Sharman. The Blues with the numbers. Fisher had a good day. What are his numbers, Ash?
Zach Fisher, 27 disposals.
It's like he's found a spot at half back.
One off a career high, I think, Ash.
PB's 29.
50-metre penalty against Butler. Can't believe it. Chincotta will race through. Can they get someone on the mark? Is Chincotta going to go? We get to 55, and no, he's pulled up now.
Okay, stand now. Time
In a
back
sense,
on.
they're quite well, Chincock. We're going to have an opportunity to blast one, and he pumps this one in. Only Saints players there made a meal of it.
Stand, Jesse.
And battle.
What about the inside 50 since half-time, Shoe? Saints doing a lot of defending, deep in their back line.
17-11, but the clearance is, Joey, 16-2, Carlton's way since half-time.
You love that stuff, Ash, don't you?
I do. You saw the vein popping out my neck, didn't you?
Play on.
David Parkin style.
You kick.
Mason Wood just tentatively pokes it over the top.
Outside 5.
Stock up. It's out of sight at Marvel on the defensive 50.
Move it on. Play on.
Blues team defence set up well, so Stocker, good purchase on it, gets it about 60 metres towards a 2v2. Wiedering again, strong intercept mark. How many for him?
Intercept mark number 6.
Goes lateral.
Outside
and
5.
Fish is going to equal his PB.
This will be disposal number 28. His PB's 29.
29. He'll get it early in this quarter. An easy roll across half back there, mopping it up. Goes towards De Koning and Battle again. Battle got 2 hands to it, couldn't take the mark, out of bounds. Just forward of the wing for the Blues.
Going, Mark.
They've kicked 4 of the last 5 goals. And they're trailing by a point. Early stages, fourth quarter.
Robbo, Ed Curnow seems to be warming up furiously down there.
He's just run 5,000 metres, I reckon. Itching to get on. He's had the tracksuit on and off, Brownie. It won't be long.
Can run, Motlop mark. Play on was called. Kick inside forward 50 to the celebrator. Owies. 40 out directly in front is to put the Blues in front for the first time since the first term.
Good decision there from Jesse Motlop.
It's been good, Motlop.
He has. Hasn't had a heap of it, but everything he does is class. I love the way he thinks his way through it. Could have blazed away to the top of the square like so many have had and have done before to Charlie Curnow. Just lowered the eyes and little Owies pop-up sprinkler style.
His go-to is pumping his chest just on the left-hand side. Owies 40 out directly in front for number 2. Misses.
He was off the celebrate.
Directly in front. Scores a level at Marvel, 51 apiece. The Saints through Sinclair bring the ball back in.
There's Wilkie.
Outside 5.
Max King comes back onto the ground. Picked up by Wiedering. Short to Wanganeen Miller. Still in St Kilda's defensive 50. They're spreading the field nice and wide, but Carlton have squeezed up, so there's no easy option. So he just goes on a 45 to Brad Hill. Still in their defensive 50. Just lost a bit of run at the moment, St Kilda. Wide. Mason would have to stand under it. Akers closed. Did enough to affect the spoil. And now Stock has to get the arms free. Now Wood has to get the arms free. Now Cordy has to get the arms free. They're coming from everywhere, the Blues. And then Owies, unfortunately, is a bit overzealous. Took Wanganeen Miller a height.
I think Ed Curnow is going to be a terrific sub when he does come on. Be interesting to see who they take off. I think it's probably got to be Fogarty down there, who's on the boundary line now, ready to come on. Whether he actually gets the tap on the shoulder and say, "No, mate, you just stay here." Ed's going onto the ground, but I think he can come on and be a bit of a difference in this game.
Who are some of the players who haven't really got it done for the Blues today, Ash, that could be subbed out?
Yeah, Fogarty's definitely one of those. He's had just the 4 disposals. He's probably the key one, I'd say.
Owies lifting, handball, Doherty, 45 out, gave it off, down to finish it, and kicked the goal. Blues in front for the first time in a while. 29-minute mark of the first quarter to be exact. And it's a 6-point lead.
Really nice finish from Paddy Dow. Almost forgotten about at times this year. Found himself in the VFL, scrapping away. But to his credit, he's persisted, gets his opportunity, and that was his moment this afternoon. Fan favourite as well. We talked about the Facebook pages before, Joey. Well, the Blues fans are perplexed why he hasn't been playing more footy. But here they come. They've done a really good job of slowing the Saints ball movement down, forced them wide, won a crucial contest, and from there, coming back at an unset defence, really nice finish.
Saints have thrown Sinclair, the magic potion they call him, into the centre bounce, alongside Steele and Gresham. Hewitt, Cripps and Doherty for the Blues. Sinclair just gets a little toe poke, half forward Hill. There's Gresham. He gives it to Wood, but he's on his wrong side, so he wants to cut back on his left. King wants it deep. It's not going to get there. Butler in a one-on-one with Sard. Ground level. Caminiti, Hollands. Zach Fisher throws it on the boot. 1v1. Stocker and Fogarty. Fogarty and Stocker. Ball out of bounds. 55 around from the St Kilda goal. Ed Curnow still with the jacket on. No subs been made yet.
Yeah, sitting right next to Michael Voss. He warmed up and then decided to put the jacket back on. So I think Fogarty's probably going to go out there for 5 minutes and then he'll play out. He'll sub him off him playing the last 15 minutes.
Marshall works Pitnet under the ball. Then kicks up. High ball inside 50. Heard the call, not 15.
Play on.
Newman squeezes it out as far as Gresham. Can he find a mark inside 50? He pops it up to Rowan Marshall. He's going to get nailed. It'll get to the back. Can Sharman get boot the ball? He can't. Desperate defence by the Blues. Still alive. Wood. He's got 5 of them chasing him. Kicks it to the top of the square. Caminiti, Butler, Sard. Flicks it out. Newman. Dockett in defensive goal square cleverly. Rushes it through. He knows the rules. 52, 57. Robbo, Bob Jane team up.
So what happened was that they did the paperwork. Dow was the one. Paddy Dow was the one. He kicks the goal. Curnow was to run on, puts the tracksuit back on. They take the paperwork back. He's sitting on the pine. Curnow still.
Good time to kick a goal by Paddy Dow. Good pick up, Robbo. It's always the best in the business down there for Bob Jane. Collins marks the footy at half back. The Blues lead by 5 points.
Is that PB for Fisher now, Truman?
Fisher, spot on, Daisy. 30 touches.
Curnow elevates himself but couldn't mark. Martin kicked the goal today so far. Pitnet, handball, Cripps. He's got Cunningham running. He kicked the last goal. He's out of bounds and gets to 50 to the top of the square. 2 on 1 though. Saints have got it. Mason Wood, wingman sliding down. Gets the coverage, takes the mark.
That kick's not going to favour Hill. It's set up. He's had a bad day by foot shoe man, Mason Wood.
Yeah, 54%. PB in disposals at 32.
Yeah, improved from the 36% earlier, but that was a poor one.
Doherty's got the football. He's 55 metres out, and he definitely has the distance in his legs. He's one of the best shots from outside 50 in the competition and has been for a number of years.
Stevie's backing him in.
So Doherty, the 20 disposals, will run out and kick it from 52. And he's pulled it. Just sneaks in from behind. So it's back to an even kick. 8-10 to 8-4. Blues lead by 6 points. 11 minutes 50 on the clock. Still plenty of time. Of course, Ream Hot Water, great partners of ours, built tough Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Give a pump up, Stevie. They often let you down, don't they?
Yeah, I had faith in him. He's been pretty good over the journey.
Got to ignite some ball movement here, the Saints. Going to die a slow death if it's just long down the line. Take a risk, take a chance.
It's the voice of Dale Thomas on the Triple MC Bus Super Special comments. The Blues win the footy back on centre wing. Doherty's everywhere at the moment. Received the handball from Sard. Martin sits underneath it. Couldn't mark it. Then almost gave away a free kick, but the Blues get the ball forward to Curnow. Curnow's got a runner. That's Cripps. Cripps can't get it towards the boundary line, and it's beaten and a free kick given away. And it goes to Sinclair. Sinclair short ball, and he finds Gresham. Gresham to Windhager. A transfer play towards Wilkie. Now they've got the number out.
And now they've got the overlap. He's going to wait for Wanganeen Miller, although ignores him in the end. Wood goes himself. Good kick. Caminiti. Order the wing. Carlton get numbers back though. Sharman and Owens are inside 50. Kick goes in that direction. Sharman loves going for a hanger. Couldn't take the mark. Higgins stays down. Wheels on the left. How's it going to bounce? Hits the post. Gee, it was close. It was a good effort from Higgins. 8-5-53. 8-10-58. 5 point margin. Still 10.5 minutes left. It's going to come down to some important moments.
Stevie, what are you pointing at?
I'm just wondering if Robbo's got any news with Ed Curnow down there. He's on the phone. Looks like he's taking the jacket off.
We'll get to him in a minute, Stevie.
Doherty goes sideways and he finds Jack Martin in the back pocket. Choice Hotels around the grounds.
18 minutes into the second quarter. Brisbane by 3 points over Freo.
Stand, Jack.
So the titanium caravan Wiedering goes wide looking for De Koning. Couldn't mark it. Marshall come in, used his body. Dow picked it up brilliantly. He said, "You're not bringing me off. I'm going to win the game for the Blues." And a bouncing ball to half forward as Hollins comes off the ground. We're all waiting to see who's going to be subbed out.
It'll be Fogarty. It'll be Fogarty. They've got his number on the board, but he's just ran past the bench and didn't even take a glimpse.
Nah,
or maybe he did.
He's going to the opposite side of the ground now, Stevie.
It's the way it goes. If you're going to be subbed out, get away from the bench. Cottrell tracks the ball towards centre wing. They want the boundary line and they get it.
Tell you what, though, Stevie's living dangerously in Robbo's space. I'm sure Robbo's going to like that if you keep an eye on his
Well,
way down
I
there.
actually pointed down to the bench so that you could then notify Robbo.
Michael Voss is screaming fog at the moment down on the bench, so I think we know our man.
All right, we'll get that confirmed from Robbo in a minute. Again, a clearance by the Blues, and again, it's Paddy Dow. Dribbles a kick to half forward. Doherty picks it up, takes some territory, kicks it into the pocket, and they'll take that, the Blues.
It'd be funny if Fogarty kicked the goal there.
Well, I think I told you 5 minutes ago that Fogarty was going on for a 5-minute run, and Ed Curnow come on for the last 15, so breaking news a bit earlier.
Stevie admiring his own work.
Very much.
Andrew throwing inside 50. We don't like that here, Stevie. Curnow goes in the ruck against Marshall and then lays a tackle. Opportunity here for the Blues. They lead by 5 points. 9.5 minutes to go, fourth term. Trailed by 22 at half time.
Charlie, you up? Thank you. Here we go.
Ball up, 38 from the Blues goal. Marshall gets his left foot to it, to the defensive 50 line. Cunningham been in everything. Cottrell turns it around the corner and Doherty marks it about 48 out.
Can have a shot from here. He's a very good long-range kick. One of the best kicks from outside 50 in the competition and has been doing it for a very long time now.
Very good summation.
I reckon you know your footy, Daisy. Backing you in.
I'll back him in from here.
Triple M Bus Super Special comments. Stevie J and Daisy getting the job done. So Doherty to put him 11 up. He'll have to kick it from just on 52. To the Docklands end. Gets it a bit of a bender. Hits the post.
Another 30 centimetres and that was through.
Fogarty's still out there. Refuses to come off.
He dropped the anchor.
Straight back.
Is it Fogarty or Fogarty?
Tom on
Fogarty.
I think it depends whether he went to a public or a private school, how you pronounce that.
Or whether you did or not.
Oh, it's a dangerous kick. No free kick paid. 50-50 ball. Cordian. Doherty caught him. Wrapped up. Ball up. Right on centre wing. Finally. Fogarty comes off.
Robbo.
There it is. There's the sub. I would say it's Fogarty, number 8 and Ed Curnow straight on. So the sub's been made.
And this is going to work out straight to Ed Curnow. Straight involved. Can he kick it to his brother? He goes to Charlie. It'll get to the back. Akers is pressing. Mason Wood, big contest. Carlton have got the numbers though. Akers just needs to think his way through. Here's Charlie. You can't keep a good man down. And just when they needed their superstar, he delivers. And the Blues are out to 12 points. Charlie's got his first. And 9-11-65. Carlton 8, St Kilda 8-5-53. 2-goal margin, 7.5 minutes to go. And it needed Big Ed to come on, his big brother, to help him get his first goal.
Well, there was only one direction that ball was going when Ed got it. That was straight to Charles. Fought and scrapped well, but well done to Akers. Mason Wood had got back there as a +1. That was a genuine 50-50 ball, as we see here on the Harvey Norman. Body line, Mason Wood, ball and all, spilled it out. And then loved the fact that he thought his way through it. For half a second there, he looked like he was going to have a shot himself, but realised that Curnow was in the better spot.
Coming out of here.
Better player, better finisher.
And another score from stoppage since half-time. 4-4-28 to Carlton. Saints scoreless. 19-5 to clearances.
To Koenig out of the middle, been important in the second half. Bouncing ball. Cottrell couldn't take it. Motlop's there, got one high. Gave it off the Martin. Can he get it back? Hollins. Motlop. He'll need to screw it around and get around. Sinclair, he can't do that. Has to go all the way back. Hewitt. Handball to Cripps. St Kilda have done well to defend here. Not 15 play on. Cottrell. Bouncing ball. Free kick picked out. It'll go to the Saints.
Charlie, back
against
to the
Curnow.
Yep, just where you are.
Wilkie to take it, so the Saints, they need to kick 3 to win it.
Geez, he's been good, Wilkie. He has had a lot of help throughout the afternoon, but that was a genuine one-on-one. Battle of strength. Came up trumps.
It's a 50-50 ball. Carlton's defence was set up beautifully. He had nowhere to go, Wilkie. And Ollie Hollins gets that ball out of bounds. I can't believe this kid hasn't got a Rising Star nominee.
Good player, isn't he?
He's a good
Covers
player.
the ground, doesn't he?
The start of the year was excellent. Spent a bit of time back in the twos through the middle part. He's come back in recent weeks and he's more than handy. Throw in. Will the Blues win another clearance? Dow keeps his feet, takes two Saints with him. Windhager goes and tries to rip it away. He's not going anywhere. 50 out from the Carlton goal. Two straight kicks. Time now starting to be an issue. We'll keep an eye on it. 6:32 on the clock. Marshall grabs it out of the ruck, kicks it over his head. Marchbank, mark not paid. Fisher out to this man Hollins again. Two kicks from home. Screws it into the corridor. Who's going to take the mark? It was nearly Cottrell. Sinclair mops it up. Tries to go down the corridor. Blues are waiting for it. Marchbank. Newman's been enormous today. And that's a beautiful kick to Cottrell, who's marked at 48 metres out on a slight angle.
Can't get the ball forward to centre at the moment, the Saints.
It's all dried up, hasn't it? Blues defending really well, and no dare left in that St Kilda ball movement that we saw in the first and second quarter. Just living in the Blues half. They need to win a centre clearance. If this does go through, they're being smacked around the footy in this second half.
If this goes through, it might be all over. They've only kicked one goal in the second half for the Saints. Cottrell from 50. The silence tells the story. 66-53. 13-point margin, 5.5 minutes to go, Steve.
They've got to take the game on now, the Saints. Go into green time, take a few risks. If they don't come off, you lose by 4 or 5 goals. At least you give yourself the chance of winning the game.
Have to kick 3 in 5.5 minutes. Their last goal came at the 7-minute mark with a third term. He goes wide. Akers. That wall has been set up to Cottrell. Run and carry from Cripps. He got the handball out to Dow. Kicked a big goal already in this last quarter. Out to Ed Curnow. Another one to Motlop. Motlop for number 3. It's a high ball. Does he bring it back? He can't. Through for one behind. 14 points. Choice Hotels around the grounds.
Thanks, Brownie. Dockers leading Brisbane by 10 points. 5-3-33. Brisbane 3-5-23 deep into the second.
Burns long. Caminiti flies. Hunter Clark stayed down. Dribbles a kick underground, looking for Marshall. DeConing got there first. Now there's a bit of chance. Caminiti has Windhager. A couple of players in board. Instead he goes down the line. Down the line, out of bounds on the full. It was King that was on, and he's missed him. And that might have been one of their chances. So Wiedering. Straight back down the line. Josh Battles tried his backside off today. Gives it to Brad Hill, who looks into the corridor. There's not much going on there, so he has to go back to where it came from. Caminiti can wheel and go. He's got players inside 50. They're all everywhere, but it's the Blues again. It's that man, Wiedering. He's no longer a human caravan. He's an intercepting machine.
7th intercept mark for Wiedering, Joey.
And he gets them out of jail again and goes to Newman. And short to Akers, and they'll milk a bit of the clock. 4 minutes now. 14 points they lead by. This will be a famous victory for the Blues.
Called to play on as Akers. Used all his time to centre wing. Curnow, ball got at the back. Tackle ball up.
15-5. The Blues are leading the inside 50s in Q4, and the pressure from the Saints has gone away after half-time. 188 in Q3. Quarter 4 down to 157, Truman.
Spot on, Daisy. Red Z.
I really appreciate it.
The quick transfer is a play out of the pack from the Blues. They've had the run, they've had the carry in this last quarter. Ed Curnow got the ball out. It's a long one from Akers. He's celebrating even before it landed. Listen to that crowd. The Blues are headed to September, and they lead by 20.
Saints got to go quick now. Don't get caught in that set kick.
Well, it's been some turnaround, hasn't it? Because you would have thought at half-time St Kilda were the more dominant team, and we were wondering what Carlton were going to come out and produce, how they're going to turn things around. Well, it's been the contest work. You mentioned the numbers earlier, Two-Man. It's been an absolute demolition around the middle of the ground and around the clearance work. They've played the game in their front half. They've created opportunities at ground level. They've set up well behind the ball defensively. And they've scored off turnover as well. And they've just completely turned this game on its head. They look the winners now. it's going to be very hard for St Kilda. They'll have to score 4 quick goals.
It's another score from stoppage, Stevie. 5-4-34 to the Blues since half-time. Saints scoreless.
They win this clearance, the Saints. Owens, high ball, top of the 50. Crouch has been pushed forward. They're just trying something different. Hill kicks it off the ground. Mason Wood, he's had a stack of footy. Out to Wanganeen Miller. Doesn't go for goal himself. Pokes it over to Higgins, who's taken the mark. He has to quickly go back and kick the goal.
Kick a nice high banana hit.
He runs out, snap. Does he screw it back enough? He doesn't. So that'll end their chances. 19 points. Under 3 minutes to go. Ross looks a bit flat. 73-54. Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Titanium Caravan's built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
It's going to be a tough win with the Blues. 2 minutes 45. Newman being good again. De Koning, second half outstanding. Owens tackled. Owies had him, the celebrator. Ball up.
Thanks, Mitch. Ruckman. Yep. Mitch.
Razor Ray, been vocal as always. Elevates the footy into the air. Cripps.
Kick.
Inches it forward. Wanganeen Miller up. Been better since half time, but it's going to be to no avail. As Wilkie went towards half forward. Fisted away. Burns. Inched it forward. Underneath it is Higgins. Can he mark it? He can't. Ball to ground level. Chidcotter. Handballed it out. Fisher being good. Akers being great. Kicked the goal moments ago. That's a high up and under ball. Free kick will go to the Blues. Paddy Cripps. Advantage called. Paddy Cripps wanted it back, but then he looked up and he saw how far advanced they were. Going to be a free kick. Curnow will get it. Now the open 50. They're dashing back. Curnow's got a couple of players to choose from. Pitnet's one of them. He keeps it low to Pitnet. That's a good kick. 55 out.
8 points straight to the goals. Even if he doesn't have the journey, he'll take 30 seconds off the clock. Minute 40 to go.
Curnow's got. Why isn't Curnow going to wrap around the back of him here?
Ryan. Not worried. They've got the win. That's all he cares about. Sure, we've got the official crowd.
Great crowd. 42,656.
Massive crowd. And they've enjoyed a great game. Pitnet just pulls the kick into the pocket. Ball goes out of bounds.
And 23 years ago was the last time the Blues won 7 in a row. You have to go all the way back to the year 2000.
2000. Last time they won 7 in a row. I'm using that on crack tonight, thank you.
And they won 14 in a row that year, Ash, from memory.
13.
Oh, nice.
They played the Bulldogs in that 14th.
Did they?
Yours.
Owens throws it on the boot. And it sets up what will be one of the games of the year next week. Carlton, Melbourne, the two hottest teams in the competition next week. What a game that'll be. Hewitt from 50. Here's another one-on-one. Wilkie and Curnow. Wilkie again, work him under the ball. Handballs to Wood, who's had a PB afternoon, short to Burns. And St Kilda are going to have to find a way to win a couple.
You can see why Brownie remembers that game. He racked up 29 disposals, kicked the major.
Of course, St Kilda take on Richmond at Marvel to keep their finals hopes alive. Free kick will go the way of Rowan Marshall. 34 seconds left on the clock. Stock up. Kick inside 50. And the Blues will mop it up again through Doherty.
Doherty squeezes the ball out. Ed Curnow had some good moments since he came on. Hugs the boundary line with the kick. Akers, numbers, Ash. He's been outstanding.
26 disposals, 425 metres gained and 2 goals.
The only blemish was a left foot pass he attempted. Went straight back to the Saints. Outside that, one of the best on the ground. Choice hotels around the grounds.
Half-time, Freo by 11 points over Brisbane.
The Blues come from behind and beat the Saints at Marvel by 19 points. 10-13, 73, 8-6, 54.
We are the Navy Blues. We are the old dark Navy Blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team old Carlton knows. We're all the champions. They like to send up. We'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark Blues.
The Saints led led by 3 points at quarter time, 22 at the half. It was a game high. Then 8 at three-quarter time, and the Blues ended up kicking 7 of the last 8 goals to run out 19-point winners. 10-13-73 to 8-6-54. Very impressive Carlton after half-time, boys.
It certainly was. Well done. We were questioning what they were going to do because the Saints came with a clear plan and it was working wonders. Scoring off turnover, they locked down Charlie Curnow, and the questions were being asked of the Blues, but Michael Voss went back to his one wood, and that was all about strength, power in and around the footy. Trusted the big guns in there. Paddy Cripps, Stewart was huge, and Paddy Dow was fantastic as well. Almost subbed off before he kicked the goal, but he was the mainstay throughout that midfield for a lot of the afternoon. Good to see. Rolled up the sleeves, got tough. That's what's required if you are going to be a side that goes on to play finals.
What's a live ladder, Ash?
Looks pretty good for Carlton Brownie with their 7th consecutive win. They're sitting 5th on the live ladder on 46 points, and then we've got a lot of congestion below them. We have 3 teams on 44, Bulldogs 6th, St Kilda 7th, Giants 8th.
A great win of the Blues. They were down and out in that first half. It was hard to see how they get back into this game. They were completely outcoached in the first half, but Michael Voss swung the changes, reset, went 7-on-7 in their forward half of the ground, and then it just started to open up after that. Let's head down to Channel 7. Chris Johnson's got Paddy Cripps and Paddy Dow.
7, you change that around a bit.
Yeah, look, we they come out, their pressure was unreal. I think they had 50 tackles at half time, which is super. We felt it, but probably the last 6 weeks we were up at half time, things are going our way, and we just spoke about this one's going to take some character, dig in, and we built some energy just back off that contest, and mate, it was a huge win. Big fellas were super today, so it's good to have him in there.
Well, Paddy, you as well, mate. You played a big part in those clearances as well. How does it feel to be out there?
Yeah, it's good to be out playing AFL footy again. I've loved my time in the VFL working on little things in the craft and stuff, so it's good to get an opportunity. We've got a few other midfielders down, so it's good to be out here playing again.
Now, the young fella's been starting as a sub every now and then, but how's it feel to have him in the middle with you, mate, getting those clearances out?
He's great. We've played a lot of footy together over the years, so we work well together, but it's a credit to him. He's been knocking the door for a couple of years, and the midfield's been really strong, and he's dominated the VFL and just kept his energy up. Around the club, he's kept working on his craft, and then he steps in today and has a massive impact for us. So, he's going to play a big role for us going ahead.
Congratulations, boys. Enjoy the win.
Good stuff, mate. Thanks.
You talk about the young fella there. You forget that Paddy Dow's actually played 69 games of football. When you hear Paddy Cripps say we've played a lot of footy together, it feels like he's been in and out and he's still a young man, but that's why we haven't seen him a lot over the last 3 or 4 years. 69 games and one of his best today. 22 disposals, kicked a big winner late to put them in front. Paddy Dow had a great game. I think they're going to go and speak to Jacob Wiedering in a minute. If they do that, we'll go down there because he was enormous again today, Jacob Wiedering, the human caravan who's turned into the human intercepting machine, according to Lee Montagna.
His last 6 weeks have been enormous, Chew, man. I'm not sure if you had the numbers on Wiedering, but he could be making a late charge for All Australian, to be fair. His squad, he's been enormous.
3rd in the AFL for intercept marks last 6 weeks, and he took 7 again today.
Let's head down. Jacob Wiedering.
Jacob, spoken before the game, we talked about the tools, but you had them covered tonight.
Yeah, no, it was we went into half-time. I was just saying to Neil, we probably were a little bit flat with our efforts, and, you've got to give credit to St Kilda. They're a very good side. They certainly brought the pressure, and, I'm pretty proud of the boys. It's a very good response. We probably haven't been in that position the last 6 weeks, and we got it done.
And Nick, equaling your all-time high with possessions, mate. You were going at 100% at one stage with your kicking, and it's something you take a lot of pride in.
Yeah, it is. I think every player has their strengths, and I feel like that's one of mine. So I try and take care of the ball, and it's nice to know I did that a bit tonight.
And what's this mean to the group, Nick? Like in terms of you've got a few wins going ahead now, but what's this mean going deep into the season?
As we just said, really pleasing the response. I think the last 6 weeks have probably had it our way for long periods of time, and I think we've gone into half-time pretty much up every time over the last 6 weeks. So to be in a different position and down, and I think they had 50 tackles in the first half, so we were feeling the heat. So for us to be able to respond and come out and play that way in the second half and hang in there, I think showed a fair bit of maturity for our group.
Hey, Jake, what was the messages at three-quarter time from Vossi? Obviously, it was swinging both ways, but what was the message? Because he's come out firing.
I said it before the game, John. It was pressure and contest. We probably won the third quarter, and again, we just wanted to play our way, and I think we did that from from the first bounce. I mean, there was probably guys that got challenged a little bit in their roles, and the boys really responded, and we got it done.
Congratulations, boys. Enjoy the win.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
A couple of Carlton players there did very well today. Jacob Wiedering again was good. Nick Newman was outstanding. This is the Triple M Amy review. Submit your fan clanger story to amy.com.au fan insurance and you could win. We're going to get Robbo down to the rooms in a minute. The Blues still out on the ground celebrating. The I'm loving it moment. There was a few in the last quarter. I thought Paddy Dow, when he put them in front, was going to be a great one. The Blake Acres one, I thought that was going to be a great call. So I haven't had one all year. So I'd imagine that the Macca's I'm loving it moment would have happened tonight, and I would have called it, but here is how Joey called it on Triple M footy.
Ed Curnow straight on, so the sub's been made.
And this is going to work out straight to Ed Curnow, straight involved. Can he kick it to his brother? He goes to Charlie. It'll get to the back. Akers is pressing. Mason Wood, big contest. Carlton have got the numbers though. Akers just needs to think his way through. Here's Charlie. You can't keep a good man down. And just when they needed their superstar, he delivers.
Damn good call by Joey, though. The Macca's on lumber at the moment. The Curnow brothers on screen there, having a very good time. Ed came on as the sub. This is the Triple M Amy review. Quick one. Choice hotels around the grounds, Ash.
Thanks, Brownie. It's half-time between Freo and Brisbane. Fremantle 5-4-34, leading the Lions by 11 points, 3-5-23.
What get the Triple MVP award for New Holland? At New Holland, we grow through what you go through. Visit your local dealer today. Blues just about to go down into the rooms to sing the song with Robbo, but we'll get the votes first of all. Steve Johnson.
Yep, I've got the votes. So there were some players that put up big numbers for both teams today, but for me, one player for Carlton who played a terrific role on the wing. He collected 27 disposals. He supported his defence, and then he gave them something going back the other way with ball in hand. Was Blake Acres for Carlton, one vote.
He was good. 2
votes was a St Kilda player who I thought started the game and really gave them the ascendancy in that first half when they had the lead and looked like the team that was going to go on with it, and that was Brad Crouch. He had 31 disposals, kicked a goal, 9 tackles and 7 clearances, but best on ground for me. And the numbers, some people might look at the numbers and say, well, how is he the best on the ground with players having around the 30 disposal mark and kicking goals? But Jacob Wiedering for me, 16 disposals, 7 intercept marks, and many of those were contested intercept marks which were crucial. So he held up that defence, chopping out and really supporting the Carlton team in the air. He gets the 3 votes for me today.
1 to Acres, 2 to Crouch, 3 to Wiedering as we head down to Robbo for Bob Jean Team Marts in the rooms.
Yeah, pretty happy down here as Michael Voss just walks past me. Talking to Aaron Hamill, one of the assistants, said it's the best win this year. They've had to come from behind, find some energy at halftime, 7 straight. They've won the contested ball. They've rolled Collingwood last week, and they're going to sing the song over the Saints.
We are the Navy Blues. Navy Blues. We're the team that never let you down. We're the only team on Carlton. We're all the champions. Let's send us. Keep your heads up. And roll that they be playing against the famous Old Dark Blues.
7 straight, and they're in form, the Blues.
What did you give down out of 10, Robbo, the tune?
6.
Yeah, it was a bit lacklustre, the Blues. Business as usual, Robbo.
Yeah, come from behind win, and they had to work, and as I said, Aaron Hamill reckons it's the best win of the season. You reckon they would have just lifted the song.
Good work, Robbo, down there. You've been brilliant all day today for Bob Jane Team Marts. And just to repeat those Triple MVP awards for New Holland, it was 1
to Acres, 2 to Brad Crouch, and 3 to Jacob Wiedering.
Nice work.
And I don't mind that by the Blues, not getting ahead of themselves.
It's been a big game here at Marvel Stadium. The Blues have come from behind and they've won by 19 points over the Saints, 10-13-73. The Saints, 8-6-54. We're off west, where the Fremantle Dockers currently lead the Brisbane Lions by 11 points.